8 of 10. That's a pretty good average. But if you break it down even closer, Smoky Mountain has won 2 out of the last 3. Can we change that here tonight? I think it's going to be a great showdown. We're going to find out with kickoff time coming up at 7:30. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Ayers along with Coach Rod White here on a Friday night. Both teams on the field warming up. And, Coach, I know the Mustangs have got to be coming in, I think, confident. They had an easy win over Andrews last week, 41-zip. They had some big plays. They threw the ball. They ran the ball. Maroon Devils, of course, I think showed some spunk, some fight, and some good things last week, even though we lost by 10 over at Tuscola across the mountain at C.E. Weatherby Stadium. So I look for a real good showdown here in this rivalry tonight.
Yeah, after speaking to some of the Smoky Mountain coaches over there before the ball game and talking to them, they felt like they got a little bit of handle on themselves. They couldn't tell a whole lot after beating Andrews, but they felt like that their team was more physical than they'd been in the past, and that they were using their athletes maybe a little better than what had previously happened here. But they feel like that they're an up-and-coming team. They're still learning new coach's offense and the defensive schemes. And I saw us grow up a lot in one half of football. I think I did anyway. If looking at it as a coach, you could see certain things happening in the second half that wasn't happening for us in the first half.
Right.
And but fatigue and it took over on us, and with all the cramps that went on, we got sloppy on the line of scrimmage with motion penalties and lining up offsides and things of that nature, and it broke our back.
It really did. Coach, we talked about this, too, in the first half. We had 3 big turnovers. We lost a couple of fumbles. We had a pick on the night. When you look at the numbers, interesting stats. When you have 3 turnovers, you only win 26% of the time. If you don't have any turnovers, you win 79% of the time. So turnovers, no matter what level you're playing at, are just backbreakers, aren't they?
Yeah, and we've talked about this before, Gary, and over the years, you can make a big deal out of turnovers. And sometimes it gets worse before it gets any better. So I just always felt like that sometimes the best thing to do is go back and work on your fundamental stuff as much as you could, as much time as you could afford at practice, and just handle the football and make. We had all kinds of little drills where we'd tug at the football, making running backs squeeze it with both hands for a period of time before they went single-handed with the ball or single-armed with it, and just small things like that. And sometimes that was just enough to get in their brain because they're out there, some of them are young kids, and they forget they got that football in their hands, and it pops out way too easy sometimes.
And we talked about that last week. One of those young kids, of course, is our quarterback, only a sophomore, Damian Lossy, 5'9", 165-pounder, but I thought he had a good ball game. Obviously, he made some mistakes, Coach, but had some good stats. 19 carries, 122 yards, had a touchdown pass to Hunter Call over there.
And, especially early in the season, when they're trying to play, they play the game faster than they practice it, and all of a sudden they're calling on their bodies to do things that they can't normally.
Beautiful field. Do you think this makes much difference to the players that are used to practicing on grass all week?
I really don't know. There's a difference. There is a difference. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But I think once they've experienced it for the first couple of times, and we play on a lot of artificial surfaces, in the Smoky Mountain Conference. So I think they get accustomed to it. I think they actually enjoy a grass surface, being able to play at home on a grass surface as a change-up. But there's a difference, but once you get out there and start playing, it's not notable enough to really take your mind off of it. Not with the new turf surfaces they have now. The old days with the old AstroTurf, you remember that?
Oh, it was like concrete.
And I'm telling you, now it was a world of difference. It really was.
Yeah.
But these are not. This is closer to natural grass than what it's ever been in the past.
It really is, and it seems like, Coach, and it may just be my imagination, but it seems like sometimes it may be just a tenth of a second faster on artificial turf. It just seems like it's just a hair quicker.
Yeah, it doesn't have the when most Bermuda grass fields have sand based.
Right.
These have sand in them, but they got those little pellets, and those pellets have just a little bit of spring to them when you run on them. And if you've ever run on it with cleats or no cleats, it's got a little bit of bounce to it. And at least if you're not going faster, you feel like you're going faster.
That's it.
Even I can run on it.
So it gets in your mind that, hey, as long as we can think we can run faster.
Oh, yeah.
That's the key. We're seeing the people come in. Looks like we got a good crowd coming in. And I've talked to the folks here at Smoky Mountain, and they'll tell you this is one of their favorite games of the year because it's a very good gate. People come in, they buy the tickets, they buy the concessions, and athletic directors and coaches, as you know, Coach, they like to see those good gates.
Oh, yeah, this is not you run out of hot dogs.
Yeah.
It really is. Later on, when the weather gets cold, you run out of hot chocolate. But it's a hot dog season right now, and I know that's a big part of the game. I mean, the number of fans over the years that I talked to who had large families. Friday night at a football game was supper time, recreation time, watching football time. Anytime you look up and you see a group of small kids playing cup ball down in a corner of an end zone, it's recreation time, man. That's all it is. So you pay the ticket admission price for a lot of different things that go on. It's like going to a little carnival.
It really is, and we're seeing a lot of Maroon Devils fans still coming in. Of course, we're still about 22 minutes or so away from kickoff time here tonight. Mustang fans are out. They're coming off a big win, and they know what this rivalry is all about if they've lived here any length of time at all, because this has just been a great rivalry going all the way back to the Civil Webster days. And as we look over there on the scoreboard, Civil Webster was, of course, fantastic with state championships in 63, 65, 66, 72, 73, and in 1980. And there were some great athletes that came through here back on some of those teams.
And the only reason there's not a 74 up there is because we beat them in the second game up here, and it tied it up, and we tossed a coin to see who went to the state championship game.
Oh, that was the
playoffs.
That was a tough night.
Oh, it was. It was a dogfight from the get-go.
Very, very emotional, very tough, and boy, you're right, Coach. And I know coaches and players, they hate to see that decided by a coin toss.
Well, it boiled down to it in those days because we played each other twice.
Right.
And so you had to either win them both or you were in a tie.
And there were some great matchups back then as well. Fans, stay tuned. We're going to break down the line, and we'll come back. Good to have Brandon Dehart back at the studio of WBHN 94.1 FM and 1590 AM as well. We're going to break for 2 minutes, and we'll be right back on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back live here on a Friday night. And by the way, talking about Michael Watson and Farley Insurance, sophomore running back Bryce Sane was named the Farley Insurance Player of the Game for his efforts against Tuscola last week. Bryce ran for a game-high 126 yards and 3 touchdowns on a career-high 27 carries. He had another 89 yards on kick returns as well as 7 tackles on defense. And in case you're doing the math, that's an average of 4.6 yards a carry for sophomore running back Bryce Sane. The Farley Insurance Player of the Game, thanks to Michael Watson. And by the way, Michael actually sounded pretty good on that commercial there as well. So way to go, Michael. All right, talking about good folks. Had a chance to sit down and talk some football as Emma Dingle had a chance to sit down and talk. And she kind of cornered Coach Neil Blankenship and talk about some Maroon Devil football. Here's what Coach Blankenship had to say on this week's pregame show.
Hi, I'm Emma Dingle with the Maroon Devils Network. We are here today with football coach Neil Blankenship. Coach, the Maroon Devils entered this season with several question marks on both offense and defense. On defense, you had a whole new linebacking and secondary core. Could you evaluate how you feel they did Friday?
Well, I think once we settled in, we did okay. We returned basically 3 starters from last year, so I think, the big thing was we had to get used to the speed of the game and stuff there. But we made adjustments second half, and we gave up 30 points in the first half and gave up second in the second half. The kids did a good job making adjustments. I was really proud of the effort that they gave. That considering being down 30-7, they could have laid down and just rolled over, and that game could have got a lot worse. But they continued to fight, get better, and make adjustments as the game went. And I was proud of that effort from them. We still got a long way to go, but we're an extremely young football team, and I'm excited where this team can go.
And, Coach, heading into this Friday, our Maroon Devils will face Smoky Mountain, who is coming off a big win against Andrews. What can you tell us about the Mustangs?
The Mustangs are extremely athletic. They have 2 kids that are extremely athletic. One's a kid who either will catch the ball or he'll take it on those runs, speed sweeps and jet sweeps, and he is extremely athletic. I think he had 3 scores against Andrews. And then they have a receiver who's about 6'2", who can go up and get a football. Their athleticism scares you in the fact of that they can big play at any moment. You can stop them, and all of a sudden they get an 80-yard run, and that takes away your good defense. So you have to play every rep, not letting him take it to the house or letting him throw one up. So their athleticism is what we've got to work against.
Gotcha. Coach, best of luck to you, to the Maroon Devils. We hope to see everyone at Carr Hooper Stadium Friday to support our Devils. But if you can't remember to follow the Devils all season long, you can right here on the Maroon Devils Network and 94.1 WBHN. This is Emma Dingle reporting.
Thank you, Emma Dingle and Coach Neil Blankenship. And by the way, talking about our pregame show, be sure and tune in next week as we're going to be at home with North Henderson, and we're going to be having a very special edition, a 1-hour pregame show coming up next week. We're going to be on at 6:30. And by the way, we're going to be having a special tribute to one of our great friends who passed away just a couple of months ago, and that's Steve Moon, who did so many games with us here on the Maroon Devils Network. And then he moved over and did baseball. And Coach Rod White, I tell you what, Coach Steve Moon was just a fine guy. He was a commissioner. I think he was a school board member. He did a lot of service for Swain County, and he was a big Maroon Devil fan also.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time with you folks. He did over the years. He sure did. He was a big part of it.
He was, and did a lot of games with us. We had a lot of fun too. Steve was the kind of guy that he liked to tell a joke and he liked to hear a joke. And just to give you an idea, every time when he would leave after a Friday night ball game, he would just look at me and he would and be so serious, and he'd say, "I'm going to do something the devil won't do." And I'd say, "What's that, Steve?" And he said, "Leave you alone." So anyway, he'd say that every week. It was with total sincerity. And then, then of course, he'd just smile and leave out of the press box. But we're going to be paying some tribute to Steve Moon, our dear friend, coming up next week. So be sure and tune in next week, 6:30 to 7:30, a 1-hour pregame show. I think Toby Burrow said he was going to do about half of that for us next week. So anyway, no, seriously, we'll have Emma Dingle, we'll have Coach Blankenship, and a lot of good features coming up for you next week, 6:30 to 7:30, as we're going to be at home with North Henderson. You know, we're on the road for 2 pretty easy road trips tonight, of course, and last week with Tuscola, and tonight with the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. Next week, we're going to be home with North Henderson, and then the week after that, we're going to be home with a very tough Franklin team. And they showed how good they were as they took it to Asheville last week. And so we've got some tough football coming up just around the corner. And, Coach, hey, but as any coach will tell you, you know this better than anybody, coaches aren't worried about next week. They're worried about right now.
Yeah, it's a matter of right now. All Coach Blankenship and his staff's concerned about is the well-being of their team. They have to study the opponent. They have to know what they're going to be seeing. They have to coach kids up through the week and get them up to speed on it. But most of the time, they're watching their own players, deciphering what they need to do to make the team better. Do they need to move somebody around? Do they need to approach things a little bit differently? Coach Blankenship told me before the ball game that he made the biggest adjustment he had made in a long time at halftime over there at Tuscola, and he said it's one of them things you used to do. You draw it up on a piece of paper, and he said the kids you knew would understand it. You showed it to them. You didn't say a word to the rest of them. You just let them play because you don't want to fog their minds, especially if they're young. And he said it really helped them in the second half, and that's the kind of thing that you have to do. You got to be more concerned about what's going on with your people during the course of the game than you do your opponent.
Oh, no question. Now, talking about the opponent, I don't know if coaches still do this, but back in the day, it seems like every week, of course, an assistant coach would go see next week's opponent and see them in live action. Do coaches still do that a lot?
They've got such a gimmick nowadays when they've got all this stuff hooked up through the internet and all that now. You could pretty much get anything you need on your opponent. They don't even exchange tapes or DVDs or anything like that anymore.
Wow.
You used to have to drive on Saturdays to go exchange these things, meet coaches at different places, do the exchange. We even had sheriff's departments do it sometimes because we didn't have time to go do it. But a lot of times you get those things exchanged, you come back and you spend all day afternoons on Sunday, up into Sunday night, sometimes up into Monday morning, getting it down pat what you think you're seeing anyway, and trying to get your kids ready. So when you go on the practice field on Monday, you've got a pretty good handle on the people you're playing.
So technology has really changed a lot of things, especially in scouting your opponents.
Yeah.
Fans, stay tuned. We have the national anthem coming up here live with the Smoky Mountain Mustang Marching Band, and we're going to take a break down the line, and then we'll come back and bring you more Maroon Devil football. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this 2-minute break on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back. Of course, our big game tonight, a non-conference game, another big game that's going to be going on here tonight as we look down the road just a little bit, and we're going to be playing both these teams. It's going to be Franklin at Murphy. And, Coach, I was surprised. I looked this up. Murphy hasn't beaten Franklin since 2008. That's been 10 years. Franklin and Murphy, boy, when they get together, it's a dogfight.
It is, and you know, Franklin's in the same boat that a lot of schools are around here. They have to play the Smoky Mountain Conference. They can't find any more games.
Right.
And I think they enjoy competing with the Smoky Mountain Conference. I think it gives them a good test of what kind of football team they're going to have. Because if you can beat Murphy and if you can beat Swain, and even if they ended up playing Robbinsville at some point in time, then you've kind of got a handle on some stuff.
Oh, no question about that. Of course, our Maroon Devils played a tough ball game last week. We had a tough first half as we gave up 30 points. But we'll talk more about that in just a minute. As, again, we're broadcasting live here from Smoky Mountain High School in Sylva, North Carolina. Stay tuned. We're going to break down the line for this 2-minute timeout. We'll be back in 2 minutes here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back live as we're broadcasting live and totally free of charge. By the way, tell your friends and neighbors, hey, you can watch the Maroon Devils here on the Maroon Devils Network. Watch it and listen free of charge. And if you can't do that, hey, tune in on WBHN 94.1 FM and 1590 AM. Roy Burnett and his good folks are always doing a good job, and that new FM has really cranked things up. Brandon Dehart is back at the studio, keeping us under control. And, Coach, I got to tell a quick story as I look out there at that Mustang baseball field. I remember playing here on this field as a freshman and saw Jimmy Streeter hit a baseball across that creek, across that road, into the cemetery.
That doesn't surprise me a bit. Yeah,
amazing.
I'll throw you one worse than that. He was hitting the ball that far when I played Little League baseball with him. Yeah, his dad was our coach.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah, he and Stevie both were I was on their team up here in Silva, and it was fun because we won every game because we had those two. And the rest of us didn't have to do a whole lot but just watch and let it happen. Yeah.
They could hit, and, of course, they did the pitching. As Jimmy pitched, Steve pitched. But I'm not sure, and again, I was just a freshman, that I had seen a baseball hit that far.
Oh, yeah. He could crank it. There's no doubt. And his entire life he could do that kind of stuff.
And just amazing athletes over the years. And I think that's what has really brought a lot of spice, if you will, to this rivalry. We've had some great athletes over the years that have went on to play collegiately and even on into the NFL and in the Canadian Football League as well, as we see the captains getting ready to take the field. But we can go back even to the days of when Coach Boyce Dietz played right here for Silva Webster, and one of his teammates was Coach Brooks that used to be over at Tuscola. Doug Brooks was one of his teammates, and they had a pretty good team then too.
Oh, yeah, they were real good. They had a running back at that time named Tommy Love, and he could put on a show. But, yeah, that over the years, there's just a lot of history in this part of the country of football in the Smoky Mountain Conference and up here at Smoky Mountain High School. And so it's one of the things that over the years, ever since it was Silva Webster High School and before the days of consolidation, it's all been it's all trickled down. It's the same story every year. It's bragging rights. A lot of folks kin to each other across the Swain County, Jackson County lines. So.
Oh, no doubt. And both teams have a lot of players also from the Cherokee Reservation. So there's some of that element mixed in,
too.
Oh,
yeah, that's in there. That's mixed in. And, I don't know how many ball games we played in up here where the teammates were out there or opponents were playing each other and they were kin to each other.
Yeah.
It was something over the years, and you'd find out about it, and you could see it because it just seemed like they picked it up a notch when they were going to play against each other.
Oh, no question. Our captains tonight are Hunter Burrell. Ian Brooks is out there, and also out there, Big Nolan Brown, one of our seniors. He had a big role in last week's game, and I'm sure he will in tonight's game as well, as they're talking it over with the officials. And we're looking at a perfect night here. Just a few clouds. Temperature this morning actually felt really good. We hope that temperature goes down tonight, Coach. We don't want to see any more cramping than we have to.
No more cramps. But hopefully they're played like they're in a little better shape. Maybe they did a better job of hydrating. It's hard for a young player to think about hydrating himself at home, but that's the things they have to do in this day and time to compete at this level and stay on that field the entire ball game. It's just too difficult if you don't.
Oh, no question. Smoky Mountain is going to be receiving the opening kickoff. We're going to be kicking to them as our Maroon Devils now are on the field in front of the fans over there on the far sideline. Smoky Mountain has a good crowd over here right below us as we're in the press box overlooking this really a beautiful field. The artificial turf, got new scoreboards, of course, on both ends, and they've done a good job here with their facility.
Okay, it's wonderful. It is. It's absolutely beautiful here, and sun's starting to set down just a little bit and get off the field, so maybe it won't be as hot as what it was on the players last week.
Yeah.
But I just got some good information. We're going to have instant replay next week.
Hey, there you go.
See?
Joe Holt just made your night, didn't he?
See, Joe knew what I was looking for. He really did. He knew that I was looking for that edge. We may go an extra long in the game, but I enjoy that instant replay.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Now, for you folks listening on the radio, I know it's kind of difficult because we're broadcasting on the radio and on video as well. So a lot of times we're going to say things that, well, we saw this or we saw that you can't see on the radio, and we'll try to do our best to describe what we're seeing so we can bring that into your eyes and into your mind what's happening on the field that you can't see on the video. So, but don't forget now, you can check it out on Maroon Devils Network. It's absolutely free. And, of course, if you can't, we want you to listen to us here at 94.1 FM and 1590 AM. And even better than that, we want to see your carcass in the seat next week at Swain County Memorial Stadium and Boys Dietz Field. We want to see you out there next week. We're going to be at home. North Henderson, we owe them. I remember they took it on a long drive against us last year, Coach, that took almost an entire quarter.
Yeah.
And they took it on a long drive and whipped us over there in a tough one.
Oh, yeah, it was one of those things that you're pretty sure you had it. But, buddy, when they got the ball at last, there wasn't a whole lot to do. They just sustained a drive, 3.5 yards of carry, and moved right down there on us and wore us out, basically.
They really did. We're going to be kicking off. Smoky Mountain is getting ready to band out the field, and the officials are ready to crank it up. Our cheerleader, our band is over there, our fans in maroon and white over there. Our Maroon Devils in our white uniforms with maroon numbers, maroon helmets. Mountain is in solid blue with silver helmets, and here we go. The opening kickoff is going to be taken back at the 5-yard line. Bringing it back out across the 20, out to the 25. Good open field tackle down there. Hunter Burrell as he brings down number 4, Cody Lomanak on the return.
Yeah, that's a great tackle, open field tackle right there. He just got his body under control and didn't make any big moves with him, just got a hold of him.
Did a good job there in the open field, and we know that Smoky Mountain is capable of big plays. They put up big numbers, 41-0 over Andrews last week, and one of the reasons why they had outstanding quarterback play from James Henson. He's going to be back there on the gun, got a running back right beside him, almost a pistol formation with trips on the left side. He turns and hands off, and they run to the left side, but there are a lot of bodies in there, led by Nolan Brown right there in the middle of the pile.
Yeah, we almost overran that one. We were real close to running by that one, and we were able to get good line of scrimmage play that time. Nobody got knocked off the football, and they're playing up and down the line of scrimmage.
So good defense there. 1 yard gain, 2nd down and 9. This time they're going to bring 1 wide to the right side, 2 wide to the left side. This time an empty backfield. Got a man over there on the wing on the right.
Yeah, going in motion. He'll become the running back. Now the quarterback keeps it.
Big hole up the gut. And it's going to be close to a first down out near the 36-yard line. Just a yard shy. Coming up on the tackle over there is going to be Damian Lossy, of course, our quarterback and one of our DBs. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and short here, Coach.
Yeah, it has a well-designed play by trapping for the quarterback, snapping it back there in the pistol set, and him just making a play fake and getting everybody's eyes on that running back, and then they trapped it for him at the line of scrimmage.
Got an official timeout, got an equipment repair here. Coming off is one of the Mustang linemen, Mason Fisher. He's going to come out. They're going to work on his equipment there and get it fixed and ready to go. Coming back in his place, we're going to have a substitute coming in off the sideline. With 10:51 to play, we're just underway. Now the officials get the clock rolling, and the Mustangs come out with the football. 3rd down and just 1 to go. In the backfield, getting the snap. Going to be 1 running back beside him, and he hands off to that running back, and he's got the first down. 44 on the carry, Coach, and they made it work.
Yeah, off tackle play. They blocked everybody down and pulled a guard again. This is a fundamental part of this spread pistol offense that they're running right here, and they'll just run receivers and running backs on and off the field all night long to try to keep you confused about who's doing what out there. They're going to go 4 wideouts this time, so we're playing without a tight end this time.
Let's see if they sling it down the field. They're very capable. Last week, Henson had 3 touchdown passes for the Mustangs. 1st down and 10 now, right on the 40-yard line. And he's going to fake the handoff, roll to the right side. The southpaw throws, got a first down, got his man. That's Dustin Stevens, and he's got a first down and then some down inside Maroon Devil territory to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, it's a crossing underneath route. He sprints to the wide side of the field there, and this particular receiver's dragging underneath at first down depth, and he just flings it out there to him, and saw a little bit of a breakdown at the corner out there. I'm glad they didn't see it. Not being able to get her shoulders turned in time to defend upfield. So they come back out in the same set this time. Double again. Twins.
4 wides, 2 on each side. Maroon Devils rushing 3 up front. 1st down and 10. And the handoff comes straight up the gut. A big hole right down to the 25-yard line. Goes the big running back just rumbling down there, Coach. And again, not too many people got a hand on him until he had big yards.
Yeah, that's the basis of this type of offense is if you don't play with the tight end where you're going to be blocking down, you kick everybody out, and he finds a seam and gets in it.
So now, first down and 10. The Mustangs on a roll here at the 25. 9:27 to play here in the first quarter, and they've just moved down the field. They had one big third down and one, but they converted, and they've been ripping off some big yards ever since they picked up that first down. Same set, 4 wides, 2 on each side. This time the Maroon Devils, 4 men up front, got a man in motion. He's going to get the handoff. He runs to the left side. A lot of blockers out in front of him. He may score. He's down in the 5, still going, and he goes into the end zone. That is, looks like Emmett Baldwin for the touchdown.
Yeah, we ran into the same problem right there last week against Tuscola. When they get on the edge like that on us, they're getting a hat on a hat, and we're not getting off our blocks yet. We got to do a better job of defeating blocks, and we're just not we're not getting off of them. We're not using our hands a whole lot yet, and they've got to start anticipating that and not turning their shoulders.
Now for the point after touchdown, 9:04 to play here in this first quarter. And the PAT is up, and it's going to be good. And we're going to take a 30-second break down the line. And the Mustangs strike first and fast as they lead 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back as, again, the Smoky Mountain Mustangs staying on the ground, rumble down the field, and put the first score on the board here. And now they're going to be kicking off. That's going to be Juan Yanez, and it's going to be taken at the 6-yard line. Bringing it back is going to be Bryce Thane, of course, who had a big night last week against Tuscola, and he brings it out across the 25, and a good return to the 27-yard line, Coach. So Bryce, always dependable.
Yeah, very dependable on these kickoffs. He handles the ball well. He sees the field well and gets us out in good field position right here. He'd like to get more, I'm sure, and then we'd like to see him get more. But he's getting what he can right now, and he's probably getting.
Now let's see if we can answer the Smoky Mountain Mustangs score on 7 things. Time we have win on the side. Let's see for more quarterback, and we come out run side. Just a quick handoff, nothing fast for about 3 yards to the 31-yard line.
Yeah, it's just a simple drive there. Place blocks to give Smoky Mountain different into blocks. Just a hat on a hat. Into what he can get. I expect we'll see a lot of that kind of stuff going on offense.
Getting over center, big Nolan Brown, of course. The football to Damian, hand up to the right side, popping it outside. Bryce tries to pop it outside. Smoky Mountain cut it back inside pretty well, though, at the 34-yard line. We picked up a couple of yards. It's going to bring up third down, though, and we still need 4.
Yeah, we missed our kick-out block right there. We didn't get it. Smoky Mountain's defensive lineman and linebacker both did a great job staying on the line of scrimmage and not getting blocked. They just refused to be blocked right there and made the play.
And we know Coach Ricky Brindley in his first year here at Smoky Mountain. We know he knows football. He came over from Pisgah. He had been over there several years, and those Black Bears know how to play football as well.
Oh, yeah.
So he's bringing his style of play over here. This time we have an unbalanced line. 3rd down and 4. We run to the left side. Are we going to get enough? It's very close to a first down. I think we got it out near the 39. It depends on the spot.
Yeah, if this other official over here quit moving his feet, we'll know where it's at. Yeah, it's first down.
So first down at the 39-yard line here on a beautiful night at Smoky Mountain High School. As again, got a slight breeze here. Looks like basically a standing room only crowd. We got a few fence walkers out there, and hey, those are the loyal fans, I think.
You got to have them. Yeah.
This time we run to the right side, and Ian Brooks trying to get some blocking out there in front for Damian Lawson, who carried behind him.
Yeah, Damian hooked up with him, and but he got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he did a smart thing. He just kept his hands in there on the football, Damian did, and rode it up into the line of scrimmage, and they both ended up carrying the football up into the line of scrimmage.
3-yard pickup, 2nd down and 7 now. 7 minutes to play in the first quarter as the Mustangs lead 7-0. They have about 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage, and we try to run, and might have got 2 yards out to the 4-yard line, but Smoky Mountain playing tough between the tackles right now.
Yeah, we misblocked that, I believe, up front. I think that they made a little adjustment up there, Smoky Mountain did, and I'm not real sure that we understood what happened right there. They closed it down real fast, way faster than they should have on a dive play.
Here we go, big third down. We need 5. 6.5 minutes to play first quarter. Split backs behind Damian Lossy. He's going to run over on the left side. He's going to be short of the first down as coming on. Big tackle up front. Big gap stopping tackle, if you will, by Clayton Frady over there, 61.
Yeah, but what Smoky Mountain's starting to do now is they're playing pretty much a solid. Every time they see us with the tight end out there and those two backs back there, they're playing a 5-man front, old 52 defense. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, from back out of the late 70s and early 80s. And right now they're basically using outside linebackers as a 6th man on short yardage, and I don't think we got it.
We didn't get it. We used the unbalanced line, and Smoky Mountain stopped us at the 48-yard line. We had to get to the 49. We're a yard shy. It's going to be Mustang football. And, Coach, we, again, tried to unbalance that line, used the power set up front, but just couldn't get enough surge.
Yeah, and they saw that. They saw us do that last week against Tuscola, and they prepared for it by using that 6-man front, saying we're not going to just stand here with four down linemen and try to take this thing on, and us not knowing where the football is. So they put a man in a gap. They played pretty much a gap defense right there to say, we're going to put a helmet in every gap down through here. You'll have to find some place to take the ball.
And it paid off. It was just it just boils down to a numbers game, doesn't it? You've got to get a hat on a hat and hopefully a little more.
Well, and you can't do any type of combo blocking or double teaming up there because there's nobody. There's too many people. They're just putting 8 people in the box and saying they're daring us to throw it out of that formation. That's saying you're not going to throw it. So that's basically what they're doing.
And if obviously watching last week's film, Coach, they didn't see us throw it a lot, so they know our bread and butter is running that football.
Exactly, and so they're going to hang their hat on that until we show them something different.
5:45 to play here in the first quarter. Mustang football now at the Maroon Devil 48-yard line. Now the Maroon Devils a 4-man front against the Mustangs. Throwing out to the right side at the 48-yard line, missing 1 tackle, missing 2 tackles. Got him down just inside the 50-yard line. Lost a couple of yards actually on the play. Could have lost more, but we missed a couple of tackles over there.
Yeah, trying to get a man out there on an island, like we say, on 2/3 of the field. And now that 2/3 will be over here to this side, and I believe they're going to put trips over here. So they had a single receiver to the wide side of the field, just threw it out there to him, said, here, get what you can get.
And that's Dustin Stevens. Dustin had a big year last year with a lot of catches, 36 catches, 612 yards, had 5 touchdowns last year for the Mustangs. He comes in motion. He gets the handoff at the 50, cuts it outside, down to the 45, finally caught from behind at the 42-yard line, and chasing him down is Bryce Sane, who has good quickness, but not before a good pickup over there by sophomore Dustin Stevens.
Yeah, we've got to try to find a way to get off these blocks. We're staying blocked way too long. They're getting to our outside shoulders, and it's that we just can't let that keep happening. And I know that's something they've worked on at practice, but until these players realize that they cannot give up that kind of ground out to the edge, then it's going to continue to happen to them.
Now coming back into the lineup is Will Frady, who had a big first series here running the football. He sets up right beside the quarterback. Got a man in motion. Frady's going to get the fake. Rolling to the right. The southpaw throws over the middle. It's going to be Stevens again. Got it in open field. And he has a first down near the 30, but the ball is popped loose.
Yep.
Maroon Devils say we have it. Let's see if the officials agree. And they do.
Yep.
So it's going to be Maroon Devil football coming up off the bottom of the pile. I'm not sure who recovered that football, but he had a white jersey.
Yeah, big break for us right there. They ran that same drag route across the middle then, and that quarterback being left-handed, he's kind of rolling to his right, but when he sticks his feet in the ground, he's popping his shoulders around, did a good job of delivering the football, but he didn't hang on to it. He got hit in there, and the ball popped out.
So now a big turnover here for the Maroon Devils. We have it first down and 10 at the 29. Got a different set this time. Faking the handoff, but Damian Lossy just fell down, just lost his footing. He faked the handoff to Bryce, wanted to cut it upfield, and just lost it.
Yeah, he had it read right there correctly when the defensive end started widening with Bryce right there as the play fake went on. He had an alley to run in, and that turf monster got him.
So now 2nd down and 12. 4:26 to play here in the first quarter. Mustangs up 7-0. This time we got Twins over on the right side. Coming over here is Jacob Waldrop and Hunter Call. This time Damian. We got some issues. We got a whistle and a penalty flag for one thing. So the play basically blown dead.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a false start or what they saw right here.
The line judge threw the penalty flag. That's the first one tonight with 4:13 to play in the first quarter. And probably it's going to be against our Maroon Devils as they're starting to back up here, and it is going to be a motion penalty.
Yeah.
Yep. So we back up 5, and now we're looking at a 2nd down. Line of scrimmage at the 22. We've got to go all the way to the 39, a 17-yard pickup here on 2nd and 17.
Got a little bit of equipment malfunction down there. Got a knee brace that's coming down. And have to try to take that thing off.
Yeah, I tell you, if you're going to put it around Nolan's knee, you're going to have a big brace.
You probably have to have 2. Yeah.
He's a 300-pounder. Nolan Brown, 6'2", 300-pound senior. And I guess it's safe to say he takes after his daddy, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
So,
oh, yeah.
But
we're seeing Smoky Mountain switch in a whole lot of they want to play that forefront. That's what they're wanting to do, but they're a little bit scared, and they ought to be with how much we traded tight end and doing that kind of thing. So that they're going to try to keep walking 5 and 6 and 7 people up there, daring us to throw the football.
So and sooner or later, you got to catch them.
Yeah, you got to pull the trigger.
Yep. 2nd down and 17. So Nolan Brown just takes the knee brace off, gives it to the one of the assistants over there, and gets over the football. We're ready to go. This time we got trips over on the right side. Oh, we got a penalty flag before we even get underway. Somebody's lining up offside or some kind of equipment issue.
What's the deal?
I know Nolan Brown wasn't happy as he looked at the line judge.
Unless it was his mouthpiece. A lot of times they forget their mouth. If your mouthpiece is hanging out, that's an equipment issue.
And because they looked at him.
He's waving it off right now. May just be giving him a warning about it because you have to play with that in your mouth. You can't leave it out.
Yep, it was hanging down on his jersey. And
yeah.
He got the message, I think. All right, got to have that mouthpiece in. 2nd down and 17. Now we're ready to go. Snap comes back to Damian. Steps up. Fires. Trying to get it over to Bryce Sane, who was pretty well covered out there at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, threw it out in front of him just a little bit too much. Crossing pattern going the other way from what Smoky Mountain was doing it, and he tried to get it back across to him, and he might have had a step on the defender, but if he'd have caught it, we might have got to see a good foot race anyway.
There you go. Now checking out of the lineup is going to be Clayton Frady, one of their big linebackers, and they have some good depth over here. They've got a good number of football players out this year at Smoky Mountain High School, so a lot of kids over here on the sideline. Here we go, 3rd down and long. Let's see if we throw it down the field. Twins on the right side.
5-man front. Yeah.
Here comes Bryce Sane, and he's stuck after just a couple of yards. So a short gain. We're going to have to punt it away now from the 26-yard line. And dropping back, the Mustangs will send Dustin Stevens. We've seen he's very dangerous with the ball.
Oh, Coach. Yeah. He's scary in the open field, too. That's what they'll have to be watching for is not giving him too much grass. Now, I don't know if Damien can put it where he wants to yet. I don't know if he's that far along punting the football, but they got 2 of them back here, and you know which one they want to have it in his hands. So when he punts it here, he may want to try to kick it across the field and get it away from him if at all possible.
Cody Lomanak and Dustin Stevens both back deep. Damian gets it away, angles it toward the sideline. There's going to be no return, and kicks it out of bounds. That's one way to keep it from becoming a big play.
Exactly.
So now at the 43-yard line, Smoky Mountain will take it over with 3:12 to play here in the first quarter. But you can feel the temperature going down just a little more, Coach. And feels a little more like football, but I'm not sure we're out of the hot weather woods yet.
No, we're not. And I hate it. But you speak to most people, and if it's anything like we didn't have a spring. Yeah. You know, we went from winter to summer. So maybe it'll go from summer to winter, and we'll see.
We need some relief on Friday nights.
Yes.
I know these players would welcome that on every football field in America. 1st down and 10, 43-yard line, Mustangs in the pistol. Quarterback hands off. Here comes Frady again, and boy, he's a beast. We finally got him down. Bryce Sane with an open field tackle, but not until we get him down at our 35. Will Frady has a low center of gravity, Coach, and He is hurting us.
Yeah, they had a pretty unusual blocking scheme. You don't see much pulling an onside guard and the tight end from the backside and using that tight end go all the way across the formation and use him as a lead blocker. But it works out. They like that kind of stuff out of this pistol set.
Four-man front for the Maroon Devils. Here comes Frady again, right up the gut again. Again, big yards down to the 25-yard line. A 9-yard, almost a 10-yard pickup on first down.
Yeah, they're using the center and the guards to fold block up in there. In other words, they find a gap technique, and wherever that gap technique is, what I mean by gap, if he lines up in a gap, wherever the A gap player is in that front, in a four front, you always have to have one. And they block him out and pull the guard around, just fold block it. If anybody knows what that means, he just guard steps over the center, and he's the lead blocker for an isolation play with that single back there.
Oh, no doubt. And right now the Maroon Devils calling a timeout here with 2:36 to play. And Coach, obviously, they have got to adjust because Smoky Mountain is having their way up front on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're beating us in the trenches up there right now pretty bad.
Yep.
And I fully expect that at some point in time we may even see Coach Blankenship go with a 3 front up there instead of that 4 front. That makes it a little harder to block it the way they're wanting to block it. Makes it a little more difficult.
And here's the score for you. Murphy 7, Franklin 0. So another close game there. As we mentioned, Franklin's beaten Murphy now about 10 straight times. Second down and short. Mustangs handoff is going to be Stevens in the backfield. He pops it outside, and he's going to take it all the way to the house. So, again, Dustin Stevens, a dangerous man in the open field, scores. Got a penalty flag. Hang on. This one might come back.
I believe it is. I believe they were holding out on the edge out there. There again, we got tied up with too many blockers right there, and when somebody did try to get off a block right then, I believe he got hung on to.
So they threw the flag at the 15-yard line. Of course, Stevens ran it in from the 25, a 25-yard score, but it's probably going to be coming back. The head man has picked up the flag. Now let's see if we get a signal up toward the press box. And it is going to be holding against the Mustangs. Wipes out the touchdown, and they'll come back and try again. And, boy, that moves it. Instead of 6 on the scoreboard, Coach, the line of scrimmage is going to be the 24-yard line. Now let's see.
I'm confused about the
spot.
Yeah, and why he spotted it there. That's beyond the first down marker.
Yeah, the line of scrimmage was just shy of the 25 on the other side of the 25.
Yeah.
First and 10, Smoky Mountain.
Well, it's because it's from the spot of the foul.
Right.
Gary, and it ended up being it allowed because of the big gain, and from where he was held at, then that's where the penalty was marked from.
Yep, he got the first down. They're going to give him that, so now they're going to go with first down and 10 at hour 24. Got the pistol and said again. Here comes Frady again. Here he comes right up the middle. And he's tackled at the 15-yard line. Pickup of 9 yards. And I tell you, Frady again, that low center of gravity, he's just like that bowling ball prototype running back. And he is hard to tackle.
Yeah, and we're just having a hard time at the line of scrimmage right now. From the very first series, before the first time we stopped them down here in the first couple of plays, they've just started to own the line of scrimmage. Yep. We've got to do a better job of staying on the line of scrimmage and getting off those blocks. We're going to pull that onside guard there. Guard and the tackle. The quarterback keeps it.
This time, the Maroon Devils step up on the defensive front. Coming up to help out over there is defensive end Jacob Langston. He led a good charge, and that time, Coach held him to a short gain.
Yeah, we've got to have more of that. Got to have it at the line of scrimmage now. We're just giving them too much right at the line of scrimmage. That's where the plays are being made.
So now it's going to be first and 10 Mustangs at hour 13. 1:37 to play here in the first quarter. Mustangs knocking on the door. They have a 7-0 lead. Quarterback looks to the sideline here. That's James Henson, a senior who had a big week last week in their win over Andrews. He's in the pistol again. He's going to take it right up the gut, kind of a quarterback draw. And he stopped at the 11-yard line for a short 2-yard gain and driven backwards. But this time, some good gap plugging, if you will.
Yeah, exact same blocking schemes they ran on the last play, only they ran it back to the strong side, and he kept it back to this side.
So now let's see what Smoky Mountain comes up with on second down, and about 7 to go, under a minute to play. Still plenty of time on the play clock as they look to the sideline. Again, first-year head coach Ricky Brindley here at Smoky Mountain, 1-0 after their win last week. Came in from Pisgah High School, where they have a very good football tradition. Tight end flips over to the left side. Here comes the handoff to Frady. Tries to pick a hole and does. Makes it down to the 5-yard line for a gain of about 7 yards on the play. It's going to bring up. Is it enough for a first down? They're going to spot it now, Coach, at the 6. Not enough for a first down. They dropped the stick over there, but
yeah,
it's third down and still about 3.
Yeah, it's one of those deals now where they, if they're going to throw the ball, they'll have to throw that crossing route again. That's probably what they're going to might be looking for. But they're going to call timeout, I think, and or the quarter's running out.
Yep,
yeah,
going to let the clock run down. We'll swap into the field, and we'll take a timeout and come back as well. Stay with us. We'll be back in 30 seconds right here on the Maroon Devils Network. Back live here on a Friday night as we get ready for the second quarter now here at Smoky Mountain High School. 112 yards rushing in the first quarter for the Mustangs. That's not good news for any defense coach when you give up over 100 yards rushing in one quarter.
No, and especially with that one back accumulating so many yards right there in 7 carries. What's that, 68 yards?
Yes, sir.
That's
a bunch.
That's like I said before, that's a good average.
That is a good average, no doubt about it. That's almost 10 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So now, 2 backs in there. This time it's going to be right side. There's Stevens. He's in the end zone. Dustin Stevens, number 14, so quick.
We've got a penalty flag on the other side of the field right now, and I don't know what that's about. We're fixing to find out. It may be coming back, too.
So, again, penalty flag down over there by the line
It was
judge.
after the ball was snapped, so I'm not real sure what they had was it may have been too many backs in the backfield.
Now, let's see what the head referee says as he looks over here. They're going to wave it off.
Wave it off.
So the touchdown will stand, and it stands at a 13-0 lead here as they'll come on for the point after with Juan Yanez. Holding in there is going to be Cody Lomanak, and he's one of their skilled people here for the Mustangs as we're just underway in the second quarter. And the kick is going to be up, and it's plenty good. So now a 14-0 Mustang lead. We're going to break down the line 30 seconds here. Stay with us. It's Smoky Mountain 14, Maroon Devils 0 here on the Maroon Devils Network. Yeah, this ain't good. Fans, welcome back live. I'm Maroon Devils getting ready to return the kickoff. But right now we're in a 14-0 hole as we've had one play in the second quarter, 11:53 to play. Bryce Sain is going to be back to return, and getting ready to kick off is going to be Juan Yanez, the senior kicker for the Mustangs. And it's going to be Bryce watching this one go into the end zone. No return as our Maroon Devils will now bring it out after the touchback here on a beautiful Friday night here at We used to call it Carr Hooper Stadium and Babe Howell Field here at Smoky Mountain High School, home of the Mustangs, as they come out in their solid blue with silver helmets. Maroon Devils in solid white with maroon helmets. And Coach, we got to have a better second quarter. That first one wasn't a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, they're just owning us on the line of scrimmage right now. We've got to find some way offensively to improve our field position, move the football, hang on to the football, put points on the board. But to do that, so we got to get them out of that five-man front.
So right now, the Maroon Devils have a man in motion to the right side. We run over there behind him, and that's trying to run over there behind Jacob Langston. Got a yard or two, and that's about all, as Smoky Mountain is, again, getting some good penetration inside with that defensive front and their defensive formation. As you mentioned, Coach, almost an old 52 look.
It is, and that's by design what they're doing right there. They are taking away the veer lanes, and that's smart. If you're going to play against Swanee, take the veer lanes away. And but we got some other stuff, and we'll just see how long it takes for us to get to it here.
Here we go. Twins on the right side. Got split backs. Damian back to throw, looking down the left side. Got a man open down here. There's Bryce saying he's got it at the 50, 45, 40, 30, 25,
this foot race
20.
is over, baby.
He's going to the house.
There you go. Now then get them out of that five-man front. Yeah.
You were just talking about getting them out of their 52 look on defense, Coach, with 11:07 to play. And that play from Damian to Bryce, that'll break it open.
Well, I got a good friend of mine standing right here whose son coaches for Smoky Mountain, and Ronnie Capps, and his son coaches for him, and Ronnie just told me that was a wheel route. So I didn't see the wheel go down inside, but Bryce was coming out over the top right there, and he hit him in stride.
He did, and Damian was very patient on that and really did a good job waiting until he broke out into the open and just laid it out there.
He laid it out there, and that's smart on Coach Blankenship's staff's part, Coach Marr, is throw it up there and let the kid run under it because he can run.
Yes, he
so
can.
He got there.
Point after is not working so good. That one is going to be no good as we tried to kick the PAT. It's going to be short and right. At 11:07 to play, we're going to break for a 30-second timeout. Stay tuned. Our score, Smoky Mountain 14, Maroon Devils 6. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Maroon Devils Network. Back live here on the Maroon Devils Network, as well as WBHN 94.1 FM and 1590 AM. Brandon Dehart back at the controls. Joe Holt and Toby Burrell and Coach Rod White. I'm Gary Ayers. Here we go. We kick it off, and it's going to be hitting at the 15-yard line, bouncing straight up and straight out of bounds. So it's going to be out of bounds on the kick. So the Mustangs will have very good field position here with 11:07 to go. Plenty of time. Just really getting unwound here in the second quarter. But again, Coach, that offense opened it up a little bit, and it paid off.
Yeah, it did. And you got to get those. Hang on a second. Yeah, right now we got it, Joe. Yeah, when you get them off of you, like they say, they're in that five-man front, and they got all them linebackers packed in there to stop that veer game, and you get him out here one-on-one and all that grass like what just happened, and it's a foot race, and to just throw it up in there and let him run under it. So Smoky Mountain will have to approach it a little bit different now.
That's it.
They've seen that threat.
They got to wonder. First down and 10 now. The Mustangs line it up in their pistol with twins on each side. And this time the quarterback is going to keep it after faking the handoff. And he's got too much real estate at the 45 all the way down to the Maroon Devil 42-yard line. That's a gain of 24 yards on first down. And, man, I tell you, they are just ripping off big chunks of real estate.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, they give him the option to do that. If he sees that closing on that backside, you know, we talked last year a whole lot about the zone read type offense. That's part of it right there. Although they're pulling linemen to block for that back, if he sees that backside sag, he takes off with it.
And good decision there again by the quarterback, James Henson, the senior, the left-hander. Fires down the middle, got him head wide
There
open.
it
It's
is,
going to be
drag route
Stevens.
again.
Here he comes.
Same play.
He's hard to bring down. He's knocked out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Another first down for the Mustangs.
Well, what they're doing is putting him in no man's land is what I call it. It's too deep for those linebackers after that play action to get their shoulders turned and get deep. And it's underneath where your free safety and your strong safety are playing. And he's just in that area of grass right there where which is great to see a left-handed quarterback turn back that way and throw a drag route coming back across the field.
That's no easy thing, is it?
No.
But he's getting it done. Again, the quarterback, James Henson, he's having a great first half here tonight with the Mustangs up 14-6, and now they're inside the red zone again. Got a man coming in motion. He hands off to him on the end around, if you will. He tries to get a little running room, spins inside the 10, knocked down at the 9-yard line. But again, that is a 6-yard pickup.
Yeah, that's a zone sweep. He comes in motion, and they just hand the ball, and he stretches it as far as he can until he finds him a gap. And there again, they're just wanting to put a hat on a hat out there and lock you up and make you make a move. Once you make a move, he sees it, then he's gone with the football.
So now second down. The Mustangs need about 4. 10 minutes to play here in the first half. As the sun has now gone down and the lights are on here at Smoky Mountain High School, home of the Mustangs. And here they go on second down. Again, Frady right beside the quarterback. This time Henson's going to run it right up behind the center. Didn't get, got a couple, about 3 yards, though, down to the 6-yard line. Going to bring up third down and short.
Yeah, they tried to full block that one in the middle there, just like they did earlier, and he got a big gainer off of it, and then just didn't fit in there that time.
So now they look to the sideline of the play call. The Smoky Mountain staff, of course, Ricky Brindley, David Presley, Jared Boone, Todd Dingler, Mike Winchester, Zeb Capps, Tony Quinn, Shane Williams, Garrett Jones, Jacob Lothar, Jimmy Ash, and company here. This time they run straight ahead, and they've got the first down inside the 5-yard line. It'll be first and goal.
That's tough on us. When you get a first down inside the 5,
hard to stop.
It's tough, yeah. We need a turnover right here of some kind of stature. They pulled one of our tricks there and packed it down in there in an unbalanced line and ran it up in there.
I tell you, that unbalanced line can be something difficult to deal with if you really don't have enough bodies up there in that gap to do that with. So now this time they are going to run to the right side. Here again, here comes Stevens down inside the 5, dives, lost the ball. Did he cross the goal line? And they're going to say he's very close down near the 1-yard line before it looks like he probably dove out of bounds. And they're going to spot it at the 1-yard line. So that's going to bring up now a second down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
So he almost got in, but he kind of lost the handle when he went airborne in there. And now they're going to spot it at the 1.
It is. Yeah, when it went out of bounds right there, we weren't sure.
Yep, that ball left his hand, and they're going to say he went out about the 1-yard line and probably lost the ball at that point. So now they're going to line up everybody in tight now as James Henson and Frady and the backs and wide receivers, everybody's jammed up in there, and they're just going to kind of shove it down our throat. And Henson goes over the right guard and does. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Yeah, they just wedge blocked that one in there. Everybody, it all apexed on that right side guard, and they all just tried to drive their feet and get in there shoulder to shoulder, and he felt his way down through there and put it in.
Found a little gap. So now it's a 20-6 Mustang lead, and we still have a whole lot of time, 8:45 to play here in the second quarter. And it's been a tough start for the Maroon Devils now. As coming on to kick is going to be Juan Yanez. Cody Lomanak is going to hold the PAT. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is up, and that's going to be good as well. So now Mustangs 21, our Maroon Devils 6. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with 8:45 to play here in the second quarter. Stay with us on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back live here on WBHN and the Maroon Devils Network. Glad to have you watching and listening in wherever you may be and whatever you may be watching or listening on, whether it be your car, your home, your telephone, your computer, whatever the case is. Glad to have you along as now Smoky Mountain will kick it, and Bryce Sane is going to watch this one go into the end zone again. No return with 8:45 to play. It's a 21-6 Mustang lead, and right now we have just had no answer for the Mustang offense that has really been effective here tonight, running the football and moving it well. They're throwing it just a little bit, just enough, if you will, Coach, to kind of keep us off balance.
Yeah, that drag route he's throwing right there, and that's all he's thrown so far except that one hitch out there into the open field to the one receiver side is so effective because, like I say, he's in no man's land. It's very difficult unless you particularly put somebody in that zone.
Here we go. Bryce Sane in motion, but Damian is going to keep it. Damian Lossy getting some positive yards, and he carries the stack out to the 25-yard line, a gain of 5 on first down.
Yeah, that's a good read there by Damian. He saw what was going on in front of him, and he took advantage of it. And there again, sometimes I think this pistol set is his ticket. It really is.
So now Damian on second down and 5, getting a little more breathing room here. 8:19, clock running, second quarter. This time coming wide out to the left side is going to be Jesse Waldrop. And staying in the backfield with him looks like is going to be Bryce Sane. Damian gets the snap. Hand off is going to be Bryce. Got a blocker right in front of him. Good block out there. Bryce out across the 35-yard line. That was a head-up block over there by Connor McCoy, number 67, the left guard.
Yeah, we finally got some movement on the line of scrimmage. We got our feet running. And that time particularly, we got a hat on a hat and then kept them blocked, just like they've been doing to us. So that's got to start happening for us. But there again, some of this pistol set right here is really making it work for us.
So good offensive execution here. And we got a timeout here. Smoky Mountain calls a quick timeout now with 7:58 to play. They want to make a couple of adjustments and would like to remind everybody we're free of charge. If you want to watch us on the internet, on the Maroon Devils Network, it's absolutely free. And we want to see you in the stands at Swain County Memorial Stadium next Friday night. And join us to take on North Henderson. We lost a tough one to them last year over at their place in Henderson County. We want you to be there. If you can't, join us here on the Maroon Devils Network or WBHN on 94.1 FM or 1590 AM. And we want you to be a part of what we're doing here and back up the Maroon Machine. That's the true bottom line. Help us back these boys up.
That's exactly right. They deserve it. They're working hard at it, and they're trying to get their feet up under them, just like everybody else in Western North Carolina is doing on Friday night. So we got to get it pumped up for them.
Hey, that's it. We want to come home and hang our head high. Here comes Damian. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to run it, and he runs out to the 39-yard line, gained him a couple there on first down, but again, there were a lot of bodies in the backfield there. He was kind of waited till the last second before he took off.
Yeah, he's reading that thing right there now. They've showed him how to read that and watch those linebackers' movements and try to pick him a place to go with that play fake. And it's pretty much what we've been seeing Smoky Mountain run. It's the same scenario. You've got to give that quarterback an opportunity to see that. And it's another form of option game. It's the pistol option game is what it's becoming. It's still the option.
Second down and 8. We got twins on the right side. Got a wing over here on the right. We fake the toss. Damian following the blockers. Good blocking up front out to the 46-yard line. I tell you, good offensive line surge that time. We saw Chase Hughes and also up there big Nick Millsaps, big 6'7", 315-pound Nick leading the way. And that's close to a first down, just a little shy. They may measure, but from here it looks just about a foot short.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be just a little bit short, but I'm glad they're measuring it. Most of the time, sometimes they don't. And it kind of, I'm not going to say. You know what I think. I've said it before.
Absolutely.
Accidentally, too, on the air. So.
And, hey, I tell you what, if you ask for a measurement, you got to get one.
Yeah.
That's just my own thoughts on that because, I mean.
We did get it. No. Now they pulled it straight that time.
Yep, just a little bit shy. Coach, just a quick break, and I want to send out our thoughts and prayers to the Darkus Welch family. Darkus Welch was a longtime teacher in the Swain County school system. She passed away this week. Her husband Charles, her kids Tim and James and Roy, and they've always been active in Swain County supporters. Her kids played ball in the Swain County system, and our thoughts and prayers going out to Darkus Welch and Charles Wiltz and the family as they're having her visitation tonight, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss to our community.
Yes.
It really is. She was a dandy. I always enjoyed being around her and talking to her.
Oh, we got people jumping all over the place this time, and yeah, they've been friends. We used to be neighbors of theirs years ago up on Toot Hollow there, and got to know them well. And again, she was a lifelong teacher in the Swain County school system before she retired, and we miss people like that when they're gone.
Oh yeah, we will, and it's a loss to your community. It really is.
And people in these communities are tight knit. We of course got some motion. That's going to back us up 5 to the 41-yard line. So now we're looking at 3rd down and about 6. Well, about 5. If we get 5, we're going to be close.
Yeah, it's
maybe 5.5.
Yeah.
Twins on the right. Got that wing over there on the right side. Damian, he's going to run the option. He's going to tuck it and run. Oh, he's going to be close, but maybe a little shy. Depends on the spot.
Yeah.
Boy, he's close, but
I don't think he got it. But
I don't either.
It's one of those positions, though, here where Coach Blankenship has a decision to make. And this ain't an easy one either with that ball around midfield about whether you're going to go for this thing or not.
Got a penalty flag. That may decide it for us, and I think we got a holding call. I think we're going to have to back up here, Coach. I saw one of the officials
hold it.
Give the signal for holding, and there it is. That's going to back us up instead of 4th down and half a yard. Now we're going to back it up way back. Let's see. They're looking to the sideline. They're going to spot it at the 33. We've got to go to the 47. We've got to get 14 yards.
Yeah. And,
almost 15.
It'd be tough right here. Let's see what the we've got them spread out here right here. We may see pretty much the same thing we saw earlier, or a draw with the quarterback.
Damian Lossy looking. Langston down the left side. Damian's going to have to tuck it and run. He better hurry. He heads for the sideline. He's going to be upended. Good open field tackle over there at the 43-yard line. That was a first down saving tackle by the Mustangs. Looks like Seth Ledford over there.
Yeah, young man made a great open field tackle on Damian. Damian had his motor running and was trying to get to those sticks over there. He knew that's where he had to get to. And so here comes the decision-making time. And I think it looks like we're going to punt it.
4th down and 2. 6:10 to play. One updated score. Murphy leading Franklin right now, 14-0. You know something really odd last week? The Smoky Mountain Conference did not win a football game.
Didn't win a football game. I didn't realize that until Saturday when I got the newspaper and was looking through it.
This punt goes straight up and not very far. It's going to go out of bounds at their 40. Well, it's going to bounce back inbounds. And now somebody finally touches it at the 49. It took a Mustang bounce, so they're going to have it at the 49. 1st and 10.
Yeah, that ended up being about a 7 or 8 yard punt.
Wow, that
went straight up off his toe and went straight up in the air, flipping.
So now 5:45 to play. Mustangs lead 21-6, and our defense is going to have to really step up. Now we have a timeout called by the Maroon Devils here. And
while we've got a minute here, Gary, I want to give a shout out to a young man. Well, he's not a young man anymore. He's older than I am. That I did play college football with. Ronnie just said that Ronnie Capps just said that he was listening to us on the radio right now. To Gary Hooper, he introduced me to college football in my first year at Mars Hill practicing, the first week of practice. And when he was getting up off of me after he'd knocked me on my back, he said, "Welcome to college football, son." And Gary looked like he was 42 years old then, so I don't know what he looks like now. He had a beard and a mustache. I just had started shaving the week before.
So he's got to be getting older,
right?
right?
He planted me, buddy. I mean, he about killed me.
So that was your introduction to college football.
Yeah. And then Ronnie Capps run by me laughing. Saying, "Get up, boy. Get up, boy." Ronnie's the trash talker of the group. Yeah.
Hey, I tell you, it's tough when you're a freshman, isn't it?
It was tough then, buddy, because then some of them guys were mean. They were mean to me.
And they were men.
Yeah.
1st down and 10. That was over at Mars Hill. The Lions got a man in motion now for the Mustangs. That's going to be Stevens. He runs to the right side, just got the pitch, and he's upended at the 47-yard line. Got a penalty flag down on the tackle.
Well, let's see what this is all about now. It's something. He's talking to the Smoky Mountain sidelines here. We'll see what it is.
Going to be interesting. He kind of went airborne when he was over here being brought down.
Yeah, and the rules they changed a couple of 3 years ago about that about getting airborne out in the middle of the field like that. And I don't know whether that's what he's calling or whether he's got something else up his sleeve. I've not seen any kind of signal yet.
Yeah, no signal either way. Looks like they're going to mark it off now against Smoky Mountain the way the referee there has the football. He's marking it off against the Mustangs. He's going back inside the 40. This is 15 yards.
That's a personal foul.
Wow.
For whatever reason, it's a personal foul call.
Wow, that's a tough break for the Mustangs. And that's the first personal foul we've seen this season. I know we're only in our second game, but that's a tough break for the Mustangs. Big break for the Maroon Devils now, all the way back at the Mustang 36. So now they're looking.
we need some breaks like that right now. The way things are going for us, if we can hold on to any type of momentum. That last time we had the football wasn't bad. The punt wasn't real good, but if we can keep them down here on this end of the field, not let them break it up and down the field on us, then we'll be fine.
So now first down and 23 for the Mustangs. Henson rolling out, fires.
There it is again.
Got his man out in open fields. Broke a tackle out there. After catching that one, it's going to be Emmett Baldwin, their senior wide receiver. Good catch and good run after the catch as well.
Yeah, that no man's land in the middle of the field is really eating us up right now. And there's really only one way you can take care of that is dropping a safety down, because if you commit a linebacker that deep, he's not going to help you with the running game at all.
And that Baldwin had a big game last week, caught 2 touchdown passes against Andrews. Second down now, the Mustangs need 7. This time they just hand it off. Just kind of a sweep on the right side. Here comes Stevens again. He's finally forced out of bounds over here, but he got a first down at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, I'm seeing, for my taste, I'm seeing too much arm tackling, attempted arm tackling going on, and that bothers me. But that's part of youth too. But if we learn to get off blocks better and we quit trying to arm tackle people, then I think we're going to be all right. We're getting to the football. That's not the problem. We're getting there. It's just making the plays once we get there, and you got to start making those plays if you're that close to the football. If you can touch a running back, you should be able to tackle him.
Here we go. This time again in the pistol set. Twins on each side for the Mustangs. Henson back to throw. Throws it down the sideline. Overshot his man down there who had a little bit of daylight. That was Brett Hall down there. But pass is thrown out of bounds and incomplete from Henson.
Yeah, that was one of them situations where it was second down, and down here on the 40, they just hung that thing up in the air and see what would happen. They feel like they can move the ball anyway. Now we got the wide side of the field to worry about with him doing the same thing or running the football over there, because that's a lot of ground to cover.
This time 4 wide receivers in the set again. This time Frady is going to be on the left side of the quarterback, who is a southpaw. We're talking about James Henson, the senior. Man in motion. Henson going to run a quarterback draw right up the middle of the field, and he's got a lot of room. And he's got the first down at the 26-yard line. Or very close to it.
Yeah, we have to maintain that line of scrimmage. Sometimes we're getting upfield too far, and he's running by us. But if we stay on the line of scrimmage, we're going to make it a little tougher for him. I notice now that Coach Blankenship's gone more to his 3 front, and he may be going back to the 4 this time. Yeah.
So now 4-man front. This time they're going to run to the right side, and they've got some blockers out there. They turn the corner, forcing him out of bounds over there for the Maroon Devil defense. It's going to be Jesse Waldrop, but not before they pick up some more good yardage. Got a couple of, new numbers in the lineup this week, and that is Trevor Emery and Colby Taylor, 23 and 32.
Yeah, there again, it'll come, but it's going to come. It's going to take a lot of work getting off these blocks. So we're just staying blocked way too long, giving up way too much ground. Once a blocker gets to us, you've got to be able to defeat those blocks.
First down now from the 16-yard line. This time the linemen held their own, as Frady is going to be stopped for his shortest gain of the night. Got a yard or so, and that's all at the 14.
If you don't penetrate and they can't move you, there's not any great big seams in there.
So this time, Maroon Devils plug the holes. Clock running, just under 4 minutes to play in the first half. Mustangs lead 21-6. Glad to have you along on this Friday night. But Maroon Devils right now with our backs against the wall, trying to keep the Mustangs out of the end zone. We don't want to give up another touchdown before halftime if we can help it. This time tight end on the right side. 2 backs in there with Henson. He throws it left side, and the receiver caught it but hit a knee out there at the 8-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and a couple. But, of course, the knee went down, had to go down and catch it on the ground, but Third down and short now for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's put us right back in the situation. Yeah, it didn't look like he got that much, but he did end up getting 6 yards on it.
Yeah, 6-yard pickup. Third down and 2, same set. Twin backs, got a wing over here on the right side. Here comes running back to the right side, and again it's going to be Stevens, and he's got quick feet. He's almost in. It is touchdown. He hit the pylon. They're going to call it a touchdown, and the Mustangs are in the end zone on the run by Dustin Stevens.
Yeah, we were just slow getting there that time. We just didn't have the motor to get to the edge that time to get. He just outran us. He just outran us to that pylon right there and scored.
Yeah, Stevens is quick.
Yeah, he's proven that several times.
Yeah,
so
got good feet.
Yeah.
Now for the point after, putting it up is going to be Juan Yanez. And so far tonight, he is 3 for 3, and looks like he's going to make it 4 for 4, and he does with 2:56 to play here before halftime. Right now, it's all Smoky Mountain as the Mustangs lead 28-6. We'll take a 30-second break, and we'll be right back here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, on just under 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Before halftime, we're going to get the football back, see if we can get some points on the board before halftime and reverse this momentum. It's all Smoky Mountain momentum right now. Yanez is going to kick it deep. Bryce Sane going all the way back, drops it, picks it up at the 1-yard line, at the 5, at the 10. Tries to get through and does a pretty good job recovering. He was up too far. The ball sailed over his head. He tried to track it down, couldn't get a handle on it. Picked it up at the 1 and made a pretty good recovery as we take over now on 1st and 10.
Yeah, we're fortunate we got it out that far. He just realized he was going to have to get what he could get right there and get the ball in positive area and not be back there around the 10-yard line.
Well, here's a stat we don't want to think about too long, but our Maroon Devils have given up 44 second-quarter points here in 2 games. 21 tonight, 23 last week against Tuscola, but let's hope for a big second half.
Uncharacteristic. That's the only thing I can call it.
It really
is uncharacteristic.
And we need to score here before halftime to try to get some of that back. Damian Lossy snap over his head, and the Mustangs might have it at the 7-yard line. I think they have it. First down and goal, Mustangs now with 2:42 to play in the half. The ball hit him in the hands. He just didn't get a good grip on it.
If we don't hold him right here, it'll be 51 points in the second quarter.
Wow. That's an ugly stat. That is an ugly stat, Coach. I didn't mean to tear your ears off with that wire.
These wires right here, we're going to come to I'm going to have a come to Jesus meeting with them here.
We're going to have to get you some more wire on.
Yeah, I've got to have more wire if I'm going to be so animated up here swinging my arms around, jerking your stuff off into the floor here.
I tell you, you can't sit still when you're watching Maroon Devil football. You just can't. Mustangs now, well, I tell you, they've got everything going their way.
Same play they scored with a minute ago.
Yep, here comes Stevens. This time we knock him down at the 5. He got 2 yards, but this time good penetration up there. Good tackle up there by 15.
Yeah, this time. Yeah, and this time you saw we were getting off blocks. Those maroon helmets were coming off blocks, and they made the play just pretty much right at the line of scrimmage.
And that's what we got to see more of.
It's got to be consistent.
Yeah.
It's got to be consistent. You can't give up 51 points in the second quarter of ball games in 2 ball games and expect to win.
Here we go. Frady gets the call this time. Big hole. He goes in standing up. So Frady, 5-yard touchdown. And again, he just went over there between the left guard and left tackle and a big seam to run through.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. They blocked us down just like they owned us and kicked us out over there. And he went in standing up. I mean, when you have that many bodies out there and he goes in standing up, they pretty much blocked you.
Oh, no doubt. And, Coach, this has got to just add to the confidence of Smoky Mountain. They ran over Andrews last week 41-0. and they're having their way in the first half.
Well, got a brand new coach, brand new staff over here, got all new stuff going on, and they want to win as bad as anybody, and so they're going to do everything they can to get their program ready for their conference play, which will be very, very difficult on them.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, this Mountain 6 conference, they call it, in there with, Franklin and Pisgah and all those guys.
Yeah, you had a picture of them here somewhere a minute ago.
That is a tough league, no doubt about it. There we go. Mountain 6 conference. We were talking about, of course, the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. You got Hendersonville. You got Brevard. That's no piece of cake. Pisgah Bears, we know how good they are. Franklin Panthers. And, of course, East Henderson Eagles. And so that's a pretty tough league. In the preseason poll, they had Pisgah 1, Franklin 2, Hendersonville 3, Brevard 4, Smoky Mountain 5. I think Smoky Mountain's underrated. And East Henderson number 6.
Yeah, Smoky Mountain may find themselves in the mix of it up there if they continue to improve and play well and stay healthy, because we're not just stinking the place up, but we're not looking very good right now. But they're playing the game the way it's supposed to be played.
This kickoff goes into the end zone again. No return with 2:05 to play in the first half. But you're right, Coach. It's they're having their way here in the first half. Next week we come home for our home opener against North Henderson. We'll have back-to-back home games. We'll have North Henderson at home, then Franklin at home. Then we're going to be open on September 14th. Then we start conference play after that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far we can come and see if we can keep improving from week to week, and especially getting our line of scrimmage play up and going.
Yep, we got to get better. Here comes Damian Lossy around the side.
Block.
He's knocked out of bounds at the 23-yard line for a short gain. That'll stop the clock now with 1:58 to play before halftime.
Yeah, we're one block away from getting him broke up field right then. We just couldn't get out here all the way to the edge. He kind of, Damon, as he matures, he'll learn that sometimes slowing down back there just a little bit is actually faster, because that sounds crazy, but it works. He's got to wait on those blocks to take place just a little bit. And watching Bryce do that last week, and if they'll just cut their motor just a little bit and let those blocks get there, they'll find their running lanes.
A lot of timing, isn't it?
Yes,
a lot of timing. Damian back to throw, fires right in the hands of Smoky Mountain. They have it at the 15-yard line. On the pick is going to be Mitch White, junior, number 20. Their defensive back over there, and he stepped right in front of our receiver. I think he tried to get it over to Bryce Sane, because Bryce came up and made that tackle from behind.
Yeah, he hung it out there just a little bit, and the defender did a good job. He was floating into that zone coverage, and he saw the ball in the air, and he became the receiver. He wasn't playing a DB. He was playing a receiver.
Yeah, he read that play all the way, and as they say, good defensive backs read the quarterback's eyes.
They'll see it, especially if you're in any type of zone coverage.
So now 1st down and 10 Mustangs. My goodness, this has been a nightmare of a second quarter. Now there's a timeout called. Coach Ricky Brindley not happy. Somebody is out of position, and boy, they're getting an earful right now from him down on the field. Even though they lead 35-6, you can't let up. And
no, he's showing them a sense of urgency now.
Yep.
And now he's coming off the field. He's already told them what he won't know. He's going to meet over here with them now. But he's upset simply because he sees how much time's left on the clock. He knows what's going on out there, and he's trying to put a nail in our coffin. And he knows if he gets this one in the end zone, it's going to be a long night for the Maroon Devils.
It's going to be, you're no doubt about it.
Long second half.
Tough second half, and right now the Mustangs, they're doing everything right. They didn't do anything right on that play because the coach let them know about it. But I bet they'll get that corrected pretty quick.
Yeah, well, as a coach, you got to instill that in them. Don't look at that scoreboard, man. If you're going to win, you got to take them to the ropes every time. You know, you get them down, you can't let them up, and that's what he's trying to instill in these players, and they got to know that's what he wants.
That's it. When you get them down, you got to keep them down. That's just the way it is. Got a man in motion. That's going to be Stevens again. This time Henson right up the gut, all the way in, and he is upended at the 2-yard line. That looked like Bryce Sane with a touchdown-saving tackle.
That's a good quarterback play as you're going to see right there, and they got us blocked again. All the defensive linemen and the linebackers. You can see one of them. They had a silver helmet on a maroon helmet, and it just they kept us right there, and he was able to just blow by the level 1 and level 2 players.
Yeah, the quarterback just exploded, and Bryce got him in the secondary, or he was going in for 6, and now they have a first down and goal from the 2-yard line, and everybody's up just jamming them in, and they're going to basically just smash it across the line of scrimmage, and they do. And this game is just a nightmare right now with 1:18 to play before halftime, and Smoky Mountain leads it 41-6. This is a football game last year at Swain County Memorial Stadium. We won 35-16, but boy, it's not happening in the first half here tonight.
No, it's just we're taking an old-timey mountain butt whooping right now.
Coming on now is, again, Juan Yanez has been perfect on his PATs. They get the snap down, and he boots it through again. And it's a 42-6 halftime, and people are going to see this probably on the internet, and they're going to think it's a mistake, but it's not. 1:18 to play. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Keep it right here. We'll be back on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans back live as Yanez is going to kick it off for the Mustangs. He's been kicking it into the end zone tonight, but this one's going to be short. Going to be hitting at the 20. It's going to stop. Bryce picks it up at the 20, tries to get some momentum, but Smoky Mountain is down there with good coverage, and he can't go anywhere because, Coach, that ball just died. He really had no chance to do much.
Yeah, I watched the kicker. He shortened his up. I think they actually wanted to kick it to maybe get some more time off the clock because once the ball's touched, the clock started. And so I think they were mostly kicking it, wanting to make sure it didn't go in the end zone and give them a chance to run some time off the clock.
Right now, the Maroon Devils with Lossie back under center this time. Got the split backs behind him. Did somebody move up front? I think the left side of the line moved.
Yeah, now here's what's characteristic. Coach Blankenship and his staff's going to have to find a way to get a hold of what's coming. It starts to unravel sometimes, and when them spokes start breaking out of that wheel, pretty soon that wheel's gone. So they're going to have to try to find a way to gather them back together, come back out here and play the game. Just start playing the game, and I'm anxious to see what kind of intensity we bring to the second half. Yeah. We got to get out of this one first.
Yeah, right now trying to finish up the first half. Maroon Devils same set, split backs, double tight ends, everybody in tight. Damian under center, just turns, hands off. It's going to be Sane on the right side. They push the line of scrimmage for a couple of yards out to the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up still third down and about 11, almost 12 to go.
Down here, there's less than a minute left right here, so they're going to take Swain now's going to take all the time they can off the clock too. So
we don't want to give it back if we have to.
Oh no. Right now we don't want to give it back.
They have just had their way offensively here tonight. Got to give credit where credit is due, but their offense has been really on a roll.
Yeah, and there again, we mentioned this last week that normally defenses are ahead of offenses.
Oh yeah.
But the times have changed, and right now, it's a struggle for us to stop anybody, and so it's going to be we're going to have to do some work.
Third down and 9 now for the Maroon Devils, and that's probably the final play of the first half. As our Maroon Devils are just going to let the clock run out and not run another play and head for the locker room. But, wow, going to be an interesting locker room coming up here, and we'll see what our Maroon Devils come out with in the second half, hopefully with some pride and some grit and some determination that we know they can do. We'll see if they come out with it in the second half, because in the first half, it's been all Smoky Mountain, as you can see by the scoreboard as we look over at a big full moon up in the sky. The score, Smoky Mountain 42, our Maroon Devils 6. Fans, will be back after this 2-minute break. Stay with us on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. We're at halftime here at Carhooper Stadium and Babe Howell Field as the Smoky Mountain marching Mustangs take the field here. And I tell you what, a lot of happy fans on this side of the field. Coach Rod White and Gary Ayers here at halftime. But, Coach, we look across the field at our fans in maroon and white, and they've got to be, I think, shell-shocked just like we are up here.
Well, they should be.
Yeah.
You know, this is uncharacteristic, like I said earlier. That's the only way I can describe it. It's just uncharacteristic what we're seeing right here. We know we're a better football team than this. We know we got better players than this right here. But things are just not they're not coming together for us yet. And Coach Blankenship and his staff, they're digging up there, and they're digging right now, trying to find a way, trying to figure out what they can do on both sides of the ball to ease some of the pain right here. Right. And one of the biggest things is being able to move the football. If you can't move the football on it, and they got, I don't know what the time possession looks like. And it doesn't have to be all that much because it's taking them no time to go down the field and score. So everything we've got is going to have to be shored up. But sometimes it's just shocking what can happen.
It's and it happens in a hurry.
14:04 to 9:38.
Time of possession.
Well, it's what now, Joe?
14:04
14:04 to 9:38.
Yeah. So, and
wow. Not as bad as I thought.
No, not as bad as I thought it was, but
they scored quickly.
They're scoring. They're getting the ball and they're scoring on their drives.
Yeah.
Is what's happening. And other than the one big touchdown pass we've hit, we can't sustain anything. We've not been able to sustain any type of running game. The biggest thing we did was open it up a little bit, and we saw our quarterback and the running backs start making some positive yardage. But then again, field position dictates a whole lot of that. And we can't we're having a hard time finding a way to dig ourselves out of bad field position and then a shanked punt.
And the turnover, of course.
Yeah, and there's an awful lot on these kids, like a young quarterback throwing that ball out there and it getting picked off. Well, if you're going to play a sophomore quarterback, that's going to happen. You're going to have to eat some of that, but you sure don't want to keep eating it at this point in time in the ball game.
And here's a tight one going on as we look at some other scores. Murphy right now leads Franklin 14-7. That game at the half. Andrews having another tough time. Tellico Plains out of Tennessee leading Andrews 27-6 at halftime. Here's a close one. Hayesville leading Copper Basin, Tennessee 14-13 at the half. As we look at some more scores here. And so let me see if I can check out some more scores. Those are from last week, but we'll check some more scores as we can here tonight on the Maroon Devils Network. But that Murphy-Franklin game is obviously a big one and a close one. But I guarantee you, when people see our score, they're going to do a double take and 42-6 at halftime?
I would.
Yeah,
I would too. Knowing the rivalry between these two schools, and right now it's just it's like nothing's going right, and we can't sustain anything, and we can't stop them.
That's it. And there hasn't been but one or two punts in the entire first half, Coach. So but again, we've got to sustain drives. We've got to. I know it's a lot of the same players on both sides of the ball, but we've got to give our defense a break one way or the other, and we're going to have to do that with offensive drives and hanging on to that football.
Yeah, most of the time, if you've got a team that you're struggling on one side of the ball with, offensively or defensively, the other side can kind of carry it. And the more people you play both ways, like the 8 different players we have, then they don't get a break from it. They don't really have time to clear their mind or adjust to many different things. And when you've got that many young people out there on the field, and neither side right now of the ball can help out the other side because both sides are struggling a whole lot.
Yep, it's been a struggle here in the first half. 42-6, our halftime score. Fans, stay tuned. We got a lot more coming up. Obviously, we got a whole second half coming up. Our coaches in the locker room working on things, but of course, so are their coaches over in the other locker room. So, going to be an interesting second half. We saw a much better second half last week at Tuscola, so we're hoping for that here tonight as well. Stay tuned as we'll be back in 4 minutes right here. 4-minute break. We'll be back here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back live here on halftime on the Maroon Devils Network. We're getting ready for the second half and to see what our Maroon Devils can do. Obviously, it's been all Smoky Mountain here in the first half. As you can see on the scoreboard, 42-6, Smoky Mountain in the lead. They have scored at will. They have thrown the short pass. They have been able to run the option. They have been able to run between the tackles. They've run outside. Basically, they have done what they have wanted to offensively, and we have not been able to stop it for the most part here tonight. We've slowed it down a couple of times, but stopping it on a consistent basis just has not happened here tonight at Smoky Mountain High School. And the Mustangs, I'm sure, are in the locker room right now feeling extremely confident that they can just score at will. They did it last week with a 41-0 win over Andrews, and they've already put 42 points on the board at halftime against a team we feel is better than Andrews and our own Maroon Devils. Now, I think a lot is going to be there's going to be a lot of focus and a lot of interest to see what's going to happen here in the second half. As you know, we had a poor second quarter last week at Tuscola. Can we rebound? Can we recover? Can we come back and play a solid second half like we did last week at Tuscola? I think that right now is the big question mark.
Well, it is, and it's up in the air. I mean, it's up to the kids right now. They have to make their mind up that young people, embarrassment is a great motivator, and fear is a great motivator. I always thought that a fear of getting your butt whipped this bad is a motivation to turn it up a notch or two. So I don't know, I can't put my finger on it exactly what to say about the situation we're in, except they're hanging one on us right now.
Well, Coach, I know and I've heard this from coaches for years. I think a lot of it comes down to the seniors. We only have, I think, 4 senior starters, so I know we don't have a large senior class. But at some point, and I know I've heard it from coaches, and you have too over the years, at some point the players have to take ownership of the team because the coaches can only do so much.
Oh, yeah, it boils down to what kind of personality. We talked a lot last season about finding the personality of your team. Well, that's what they're searching for out there. We've not found it. It's obvious.
Right.
And that comes a whole lot from your leadership. And it may not be from a senior. Sometimes it comes from some of the younger players, but they have to approach it positively and then approach it with their teammates that way. If you start hanging your head and you start pointing your finger or placing blame, then it gets worse. Trust me, it gets much worse. I've seen it. And so what you try to do is try to find the right mix to put out there. And I know for many seasons when we ended up with a whole lot of sophomores on the field, by the end of the season, a lot of them were our leaders because they didn't hang their head. They didn't know to hang their head. They just kept playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, and we ended up. You may lose some ball games like this, maybe not this bad, but you'd lose some ball games. But they got better, and they kept coming. And then that leadership it took over, and you're either a leader or a follower out there, And so you got to make up your mind which one you're going to be, and you can't be an individual, and everybody knows that's played any team sport. So we'll see. We got a half here to see what's happening.
And right now, again, just a beautiful night here at Smoky Mountain High School. Temperatures going down a little more as we're looking at a nice weekend coming up here, and we hope, as Coach White said, we didn't have a whole lot of spring, and we may not have a whole lot of fall. Who knows? We may get cold here soon, but I don't think anybody's going to complain after the rain and some of the heat we've had this summer. But right now, our guys out on the field, both teams out on the field, loosening up, warming up. And right now it's a mind game, I think, Coach, to get our mind ready to play.
Yeah, and the worst thing they can do, and I'm sure this was brought to their attention by the coaches, is to look at that scoreboard and think hopeless. This has got to be about this team. It's got to be about what they've got inside of them, like we were talking about. What is their personality? What kind of character each individual player has? But we got to find out who we are. We don't know where we're at. We don't know who we are offensively, defensively, and or with the kicking game right now.
Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back with our second half. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. 2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back once again. Bryce Sane, our Farley Insurance Player of the Game for last week. In our game against Tuscola, the sophomore had a big game and had 126 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 27 carries, averaging over 4.5 yards a carry, and had 89 yards on kick returns and 7 tackles on defense. Bryce, congratulations, and thanks to Michael Watson of Farley Insurance for providing that good vibration, if you will, to these kids. And I tell you, we got to have some good things happen here, and I think quickly in this second half. Here we go. Yanez is going to kick it off for the Mustangs. And this one is going to go into the end zone. No return. Has been doing that a lot tonight, Coach, and that's a pretty good weapon.
Oh, yeah, that's an ace weapon for your kickoff team when the other team's offense is starting on the 20 every series. That's one of the best weapons you can have. And he backed up that time. He meant to try to get it in the end zone simply because they felt like that'd be the best way to start the third quarter.
And let's see if we can answer now and kind of get things turned around and on the right track, get that momentum switched over on our side of the field. Got twins on the left side, split backs for Damian. He turns. He's going to run the option. He runs to the left side, and he's tackled up the line of scrimmage. No gain. So the Mustangs, with their linebacker coming up over there, they got us right in the chops with a good tackle.
Yeah, they did a good job of just playing us at the line of scrimmage right there. And Damian thought he had a read on the end right there, and then by staying on the line of scrimmage, Smoky Mountain defender was defensive end. Just took it away.
He did. Big 61 Clayton Frady, and he's a big fella out there as he lines up on the right side of that line at the defensive end spot. This time Damian is going to be back in the gun. We got a receiver on each side. He runs the option. Bryce Sane breaks one tackle, tries to pop it outside, but they hold him inside. Bryce gets some positive yards out to the 23-yard line, but it's still going to bring up third down and almost 7 to go.
Yeah, Smoky Mountain's giving us the center of the line of scrimmage right now. When they see us in that pistol set, they are defending from the outside, from the B gap outside the guards out. They're not concerned about anything back up inside there. So that may be something that Coach Marr will see and they'll pick up on because they're giving it to us right now.
So right now, third down. We need a long 7 just underway, third quarter. Our Maroon Devils trying to get on track here. Been a tough first half. Lossy rolling to his left, rolling, firing, got his man, first down out across the 35-yard line. And that might be the first catch of the year for big tight end Jacob Langston, and he's a big target at 6'2", and a good catch for a first down.
Yeah, they attempted to throw a dump pass to him last week, and they missed on it. And this was a good one, and I think it looks like they're going to bring it back, probably hold it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
After a good execution and a first down, a holding call is going to bring it back here. So now we're going to be looking at third down and a long way to go. Going to spot it back at about the 13-yard line. Third down and
where did the holding take place for it to get back that far? I mean, that had to happen at or behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep, they're going to move it back to the 12. Third down and 18 now. Damian rolling to his right. Has plenty of time. He's going to tuck it and run. He's going to be forced out of bounds. He got about 8 of them back, but now we're still looking at fourth down and 10 up near the original line of scrimmage at the 20.
Got another penalty flag out there, Gary, and don't know what this is all about. And see if this is going to be holding again. If it is, they'll mark it from there half the distance because that flag is laying on the 10-yard line.
That does not bode well for our Maroon Devils right now.
They're going to decline the penalty, which
going to force us to punt.
Right.
It is a holding call.
The penalty is holding on Swain County.
So we're going to punt it back to Smoky Mountain. And we attempted, I think, one punt tonight. Let's see if we can do. And it looks like we're going to have a new punter back there. Coming in to punt this time is going to be 44, Thomas Allen. He's one of our linebackers. Thomas led us in tackles last week with 14 tackles on the night at Tuscola.
We'll see if he can get the ball upfield here for us.
Nice punt.
A good punt.
Nice punt. Going to be taken on a fair catch right at midfield. Well, their return man actually fell down over there, Cody Lominack, but he made the catch, and that's what counts at midfield. So now the Mustangs have it first down and 10, but, man, outstanding field position.
Yeah, they're getting to start with it at the midfield. There we go again. It's a tough situation.
And now let's see if our defense.
Yeah, I see Coach Blankenship's gone back to the Wolf front, the three-man front, and see if this helps us right here.
Kind of a 34 defensive look, if you will, 3-4-4. Henson maybe checking off at the line of scrimmage. First down and 10, right on the 50. He gets the snap. Hands off on the sweep to the right side. It's going to be Justin Stevens. Not fancy, but Stevens quick. He's got quick feet. Good tackle there by Ian Brooks at the 46 after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, a little better job then of trying to get off of blocks. And I'm sure that's something that was discussed at halftime that, you're going to have blockers assigned to you. And I don't want to beat a dead horse. But everybody out there is assigned. You're going to be blocked. You're going to have blockers coming to you. Your job is to beat it. You've got to beat blocks. There's no way you're going to go run around there all night long unblocked. It's not in anybody's scheme to leave somebody unblocked unless it's a fear play.
Yep. Got to fight the block off.
Yep.
This time they put a man in motion. They hand off to Frady. Their power back and stop for a 1-yard gain. Good defense. Third down and 5 coming up.
Stayed in the Wolf front again right there. What he's doing is giving his linebackers an opportunity to see when you go to a 4-man front against this type of pistol spread offense that's running all these different read plays right here, you lose some of that linebacker pursuit.
Here we go, third down and 4. Mustangs with 3 wide. 9-10 to play in the third quarter. 42-6, Mustangs in the lead. This time, Twins on each side for Henson, the quarterback. Frady right beside him. Henson fires, got a man open over on the sideline. It's enough for a first down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, they're in a stop route. Double stops right there, just getting up across the sticks there, and enough for a first down and stopping them. And he cuts it loose before they ever turn around. And when the receiver turns around, the ball's right there.
Just enough to move the sticks. Now coming in from the sideline for the Maroon Devils on defense over there is Chase Hughes, who also plays guard on offense, coming in to play linebacker. This time, misdirection handoff, and it's going to be Frady up the gut. They thought they were going to run wide, but good misdirection handoff play.
Yeah, and we had him here in the backfield. And there again, we got to do a better job of just tackling right there. We had him. We had it defended out of that 3-man front, that Wolf front, and it was one of them deals where he did a better job running than we did of tackling.
Jacob Langston on the tackle for the Maroon Devils now. Second down. Mustangs need 4, 8-12 to play in this third quarter. So far, no score. This time, Twins on each side for the Mustangs. Same set again with Frady beside Henson in the backfield. This time, Henson is going to run to the right side, and this time, good defensive effort coming up on the stop over there again is Thomas Allen.
Yeah, he's giving him an opportunity to see from out there. Instead of lining him up on the line of scrimmage, he's getting a good opportunity to see that movement from that quarterback and read that blocking scheme, because when you see that guard and tackle pull, other than him pulling it and going out the backside, he's coming with it.
Now coming in, got some big beef, Nolan Brown and Nick Millsaps. That's 615 pounds of beef coming back in on the defensive front. This time, Nick flips over to the right side defensive end. Third down and 4 for the Mustangs. Man in motion. The snap goes to the quarterback, and he goes straight ahead, and he is stopped short. It's going to bring up fourth down at about a yard.
They're doing a whole lot better job up there in that 3-man front, and I'm glad to see Coach Blankenship changing it up just a little bit up there and making it harder on them. They're having a hard time blocking that front.
So now fourth down and 1, and I can't recall too many fourth down situations we had Smoky Mountain in the first half. So getting a better job defensively. Fourth down and short. They're going to go for it, obviously, inside our 30. Henson with 2 backs beside him now. We haven't seen this set much tonight. This time he starts to hand off. Frady actually stumbled, but still got the first down. He kind of fell in the backfield, but got his footing, got the first down, and they keep it moving.
Yep, and I think their defenders kind of lost him there. When he stumbled, nobody could see him, and he just stuck his foot in the ground and got upfield.
Just don't, what does the coaches say? Don't stop till the whistle blows.
Yeah.
Got to keep playing. First down and 10, 6:25 to play. But a fast-moving third quarter here. No points on the board for either team. Henson Turns, hands off. This time it's going to be Stevens cutting around the right side. Knocked out of bounds just inside the 20-yard line. Good open field tackle down there by Jesse Waldrop.
We're doing a much better job now playing up and down the line of scrimmage. And here again, we can't forget about that wide side of the field over there. That's basically and fundamentally where they're going to end up wanting to go with the football.
Chase Hughes coming in now with Connor McCoy. We're shuffling players in and out on that defensive front as well, Coach. Kind of keeping different bodies out there.
Yeah, the big men, spelling those big men a little bit. That's a smart move.
No doubt. They have to play offense as well. Henson fires out on the left side, in and out of the hands.
Fumble. He threw it backwards. We got the ball, I believe. Nope, he got it back.
They got it back, but boy, that was a loose football over there. Getting on it is going to be Dustin Stevens, but it was behind the line.
Yep.
Way behind the line.
I'm thinking he threw that ball backwards, and that the head linesman over there says he did. So it was a fumble. So it brings up third and about 20.
Yeah, long way to go. Third down and 20 at the 31-yard line. They've got to get to the 11 for a first down. But, Coach, we're seeing better effort and better execution on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, right now, and it's a smart move that Coach Blankenship's made to give them a different look up front in this Wolf front, because what he's doing now is he's playing gap defense up there and letting linebackers. He's playing with 4 linebackers and giving them an opportunity to run to the ball.
Henson down the middle.
There we go.
In and out of the hands of his receiver, just off the hands of Mitch White.
Great defensive play back there.
So that's going to bring up now, let's see, fourth down with 4:46 to play. And will they try? It's going to be a long field goal if they do try it on fourth down. Still looking at the sideline, and they're going to go for it. It'd be an awful long field goal, so or will they try to punt it? They might try to hang it high and nail it inside the 10. Let's see what they come up with here.
They've got single number players up on the line of scrimmage. They haven't punted all night long, so they don't know who's on their punt team right now. So they're having a hard time trying to figure out who's supposed to be out there.
Yep.
I think they were attempting to punt it, but they just they weren't sure who was supposed to be on the field.
Yeah, got to get the right players in the right spot here with 4:46 to play, and they'll get their punt team set. But you're right, they haven't punted all night, and I don't guess they punted last week, and when you win 41-0, you probably didn't punt a whole lot last week either.
You don't have a chance. The only time they've got to work on their punt teams at practice, so they're not real sure who's on it. I looked across over there a minute ago, and I believe I see Damien taking his.
Oh, you're right.
He was about to take his shoulder pads off over there. He may be done for the night. He's holding his left shoulder.
He is.
I noticed when he got knocked out of bounds over there about the 20-yard line earlier.
Those pads just came off.
Yeah. He's having a hard time. He's hurt that shoulder or elbow or something, and they're taking a look at him over there, but he may be done for tonight.
You may be right. Shoulder pads are off for Damian Lossie, our starting quarterback, and also plays in the secondary back there at a safety. All right, here we go. Henson is going to run around, kind of a pooch punt, but he's going to punt it, and this one is going to be going into the end zone. They tried to down it, almost had it at the 1, but it goes across the goal line, so we'll have it out to the 20. 4:38 to play. Coach, we saw a much better third quarter than we did in the second quarter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so far, if we can get something started here offensively, something we can hang our hat on, but we'll have to see what transpires here now with the and I guess this will be Connor Hyatt coming in.
Yep, Connor's going to play quarterback. Connor is a not the biggest kid on the field. Tough, 5'9", 135 junior. He's going to be under center. And handing off to the right side. I'm sure the Maroon Devils are going to try to keep it. Might have a loose football. Smoky Mountain says they have it, and now so does the lineman. Yep, it's going to be Smoky Mountain football. So another Maroon Devil turnover. We were talking about those, Coach, and boy, every turnover, your chances of winning, the percentages go down quickly.
Yeah, and we're not giving ourselves a chance up front right there right now. It's just they're getting way too many bodies into those veer lanes right now, and we're not getting the push off the line of scrimmage that we need to find those veer lanes. If you can't move those people, there's no lane there, and we're running into brick walls up there, and that time on the hookup, the ball popped out.
So now the line of scrimmage is being controlled by Smoky Mountain. First down and 10 at the 22. Got a man in motion. He stops on the wing. They fake the handoff. Henson rolls, fires, and again he gets it over on the sideline to his quick man, and he's still going down to the 5. Did he score? Boy, it's going to be close. They say he went out of bounds at the 3-yard line. We're talking about Emmett Baldwin. And again, Baldwin had a big game last week with 2 touchdown catches, and he almost took that one in.
Yeah, there again, he was out there in that open field, and we had 3 different defensive players literally run into him and didn't tackle him.
And
they just ran into him.
Got an injured player down on the sideline. That's Bryce Sane. He gets up, though. Well, I think he's going to be okay.
He's got to go out of play, though. If they stop play
yep.
For an injury, he's got to go out for at least one play.
Yeah, the head referee just sent him out.
He tweaked his ankle. He's had a little bit of a bad ankle off and on all preseason, from what I understand.
Now coming into his place is going to be Brandon Salinas. I hope I said that right. A junior coming in, 5'10", junior, number 81. He's going to take Bryce's place over there on that corner. Also moving out over there is going to be Jesse Waldrop. So Salinas is going to be staying back as a safety. Henson back in the gun, turns, hands off. They run right up the gut for an easy score. Nobody got a hand in there on 14, Dustin Stevens. I'll tell you, Stevens has been a thorn in our side tonight.
Yeah, and it's disconcerting, I guess, is the word I can use right there. When they get the ball on the 3-yard line and they're running a play like that right there, and when you look, there's no bodies on the ground. There's no, and he never gets touched, and so you wonder kind of what's happening to us up front up there.
Yeah, nobody got a hand on Stevens. As now coming in is going to be again Yanez, who hasn't missed one tonight. And he's been a busy guy as he boots another one through. With 4:10 to play, third quarter. It's Smoky Mountain 49, Maroon Devils 6. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout here on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. Let's go to the scoreboard to see what's going on. Got some tight ones. Hayesville leading Copper Basin right now 14-13 in the third quarter. Robbinsville all over North Georgia 35-8. That game's still in the second quarter. In other high school play tonight, as we look around the conference, those are the only scores we're seeing right now. Here we go. Cherokee leading Choctaw 13-6 third quarter. Brevard putting it to Rosman 35-0. Tellico Plains leading Andrews 27-13. And let's see if we're going to bring it back. We pick it up at the 9-yard line. And we bring it out in the middle of the field. And here he comes, turning on the Jets over there. The Maroon Devils all the way out across the 45-yard line. And this is 32. And let me check that. I know we got 32 here. We got a new roster. That is Colby Taylor. And, Coach, he had a couple of Jets he turned on.
Yeah, I was looking there. I wasn't sure who that was. I thought Bryce was back out there. But,
yeah, me too. So it's, again, 32 instead of 22. One other score, Murphy right now leading Franklin 21-7. That game in the third quarter. Thanks to Toby Burrell bringing us up to date on the scoreboard here. And this time the Maroon Devils, Bryce Sane is back in there and gets it into Mustang territory down at the 49-yard line.
Yeah, Connor flung that one out there in it's a semi-wheel route and led Bryce just enough to get him upfield right there, and positive yardage, 6 yards on first down. You can't beat that.
Oh, no doubt about it. And right now, Jeff Mark calling in the plays to his new quarterback in there again, Connor Hyatt, the junior. His dad, a quarterback, of course, Travis Hyatt for the Maroon Devils. And here we go, running to the right side, and the first down inside the 40-yard line. So getting some positive things happening on offense. And I'll tell you, Connor is a tough kid, pops right back up, looks to the sideline for the next play, and trying to provide a spark for this offense.
Exactly, and he did a great job of reading that, man. Just as soon as he realized that they'd closed out of that 5-man front. He pulled that football, and the linebacker was gone. There was nobody to take him there till he got to the secondary.
Now Colby Taylor stays in the backfield, but Bryce Satan is back in. He's over there in that slot on the right side. He flings it out there, and it's going to be caught. It's a short game, but it's caught over there by Jacob Waldrop. And it's going to move the yardstick for a couple of yards. Second down, and we're going to need 8 with a minute and a half to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, Connor cut that one loose, man. He zipped it out there because that's the kind of ball that you got to put some zip on to get it out there in a hurry because those defenders are too close. And they make a break on it and pick it, and it goes the other way.
Seeing some nice things happening here on offense. Trips on the left side now. Colby stays in beside Connor. Connor's going to throw again. Looking, stepping up. He's in trouble, in a jam. He's going to have to eat the ball, and he's going to go down at the 39-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10, but that's just basically a cover and sack, if you will. It's not really a sack as he got back near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're realizing now that we can throw the football some more. So Connor zipped those couple there, and they're starting to back up just a little bit, and that'll open the running game up some more. But right now, just doing a good job of he did a good job right there of not taking a sack.
That's it.
He at least got the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 10. Under a minute to play. Could be the final play of the third quarter. Connor fakes one way, pumps down the left side, up for grabs, and it's going to be picked off. This one thrown just a little bit too far. He was looking down there for Hunter Call, and it's going to be brought back down to the 40, down to the 35, down to the 30. On the return over there for the Mustangs is going to be number 12, and that's Emmett Baldwin. But that ball sailed just a little bit and got out ahead of the receiver.
Yeah, Connor's wishing right now he had that one back. He hung it up there, and he hung it up deep, but he just out through his receiver, and the guy was in zone coverage, the defender was, and he was looking at Connor the whole way and had his hips opened up. Then there again, he became the receiver.
And that's the end of the third quarter, fans. We have 12 minutes left to play here. Mustangs with the ball when we come back after this 30-second timeout on the Maroon Devils Network. Fans, welcome back. We're ready for the fourth quarter here under a beautiful full moon in Silva, just a few miles up the road. Next week, of course, we're going to be at home. North Henderson is going to be in town. And we hope you'll be there with us. If you can't tune in here on the Maroon Devils, we'll have a 1-hour pregame show starting at 6:30. Going to have a tribute to Steve Moon. We'll have Coach Blankenship. Emma Dingle will join us on the pregame show and more coming up. But right now, our Maroon Devils trying to hang in here with Smoky Mountain. And the Mustangs have been having their way as they take over here in the fourth quarter. First down from the 25. They get 5. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 now for the Mustangs. And we have a guy slow getting up, but getting up he does. And that's Thomas Allen. He led us in tackles last week, and he's going to be okay.
Yeah, they're playing him at basically a defensive tackle position by utilizing him in that 3-man front. It looks like they may be attempting to go back to the 4, but they're playing real well out of that 3-man wolf front. And I call it wolf front because that's the term I gave it when we first started trying to mess around with this thing, and we were able to win some ball games with it.
2nd down and 5 now. Smoky Mountain taking a lot of time here on offense, using the clock to their advantage. And this time the front gets it done, stopping Frady after a 1-yard pickup at the 19.
It makes you more versatile. They have to guess who to block in this type of defense that Coach Blankenship's utilizing right now. And in the years we ran, it started in 2001 in the state championship game, when they had us spread out all over that field, Williamston did, and we came up with this at halftime basically and won the football game with it. And from that point on, I just made it our base defense.
Got it done. Got a man in motion this time. The Mustangs hand off to him. He bobbles it, and hangs on to the ball and turns the corner down to the 12-yard line on the carry. It's going to be Cody Lomanek, and that's going to be enough for a first down for the Mustangs.
And there again, we just we ran by the ball. We had one defender blocked, and a would-be tackler literally took himself out of it by getting upfield too far. If he just puts the brakes on a little bit and waits a split second, he can make that play at the line of scrimmage.
And it's so much about angles, isn't it?
It is. It's all about angles and pursuit angles, because if you push too far upfield, you're telling him where to go with the football. He's going to stick his foot in the ground and go upfield now. But if you don't tell him where to go, then he's going to keep coming to you, and you can close the distance.
First down and 10 now, Mustangs at the 12. Got 4 wides for Henson, but he's going to hand off to Frady. Nothing fancy, just right up between the center and the guard as he pounds his way down to the 12-yard line. 9.5 minutes to play, and we've noticed Smoky Mountain taking a lot of time now. The clock is all on their side, and they're taking a lot of time every play, just using that clock.
Yeah, they don't have to be in a hurry with anything. They're working on their schemes right now. They're going to try to score for sure, but they're working on their schemes as they go right here.
They're trying to get better for next week.
Oh yeah, and I see what the coaches were talking about. They seem to be a much more physical football team than what I've seen them play here at Smoky Mountain in the past 2 to 3 years.
Oh, no question. Ricky Brindley came over from Pisgah. We know Pisgah plays a physical brand of football. Here comes Stevens again, popping it inside. Got a penalty flag down as he carries down near the 7-yard line, but a flag coming in late on the play.
Yeah, that may have been I don't know if they're going to call that a horse collar or maybe somebody got him by the face mask. I couldn't tell. Unless it's a holding on Smoky Mountain. We'll see right here.
And the head referee comes over and gives us the signal as he looks back, and it is going to be a holding call.
Yeah. But I saw him snatch back pretty quick. I didn't know if somebody grabbed him by the face mask or the shoulder pads.
And, really, Coach, for the second game, we've had some penalties, but not a ton of penalties.
Yeah, and this is the time of year, too, is you try to talk to officials about this. It's like anybody that plays Murphy. They can throw a flag on Murphy every offensive play for holding. And you can talk to their coaches. Their coaches will tell you that. And, so they get tired. They say, hey, let them play a little while. And then when we start seeing enough of it, then we'll start throwing flags. But
that's just their style of play, isn't it?
It is.
That's the way they play.
Yeah.
From the 19, second down now for the Mustangs after the holding call. Henson back to throw. The southpaw fires, got his man. He's going to be knocked down this time at the 7-yard line. The Maroon Devils gang tackling on this one as Bryce Sade coming over there. Also coming out to help on the stop is going to be Thomas Allen again. And coming up also is Hunter Burrell, number 20.
Yeah, Hunter's been moving around a lot back there trying to make plays happen. He's trying to find the football, and he's got a nose for it, and he's trying to make some stuff happen right here. They'll have to squeeze the coverage down right here a little bit, but that's probably what they're going to work on. They work on pulling us offside. Is what they did.
And they did. They pulled us offside. Yeah. We jumped in that neutral zone. 7 minutes to play here. Whistle blew, but the clock is still running. That may or may not be by agreement.
Right.
6:45 to play, and they're going to spot the ball now. Down at the 3.5-yard line. We jumped offside, or encroachment is the correct terminology.
That'll be 3rd and 1.
So now the Mustangs have a 3rd and 1, 4 wide receivers coming out, 2 on each side. And the Maroon Devils again with our backs against that end zone.
Yeah, we're playing with a real short field right here, but Coach Blankenship staying with his 3 front and running linebackers downhill, and we got a good stop right there.
Got a good stop. Frady jumped in there between the guard and the center as he got the handoff from Henson, and good tackling up front. Nick Millsaps is in there, and Nolan Brown, and a bunch of the guys combining on the tackle. A lot of beef up front.
Oh yeah, and if you can utilize it the way he is right now, it's a plus. Did the same thing last week. When he got into that into the Wolf front, gave Tuscola some problems.
Now let's see. The clock is stopped. 5:47 to play. They're going to measure. Okay, the chains come in. Going to measure down inside the 3. See if it's enough for a first down. And Coach, next week we're going to be at home. North Henderson will be there. And I hope they don't bring as much speed as we saw last year. They had some speed.
It looked like a track meet.
They did.
For most of the night anyway.
North Henderson. Then after that, we've got Franklin coming in. Franklin and Murphy battling it out over there tonight. And then after that, we're going to be open. Then we get conference play underway. So a lot of football coming up down the road. Now the Mustangs, again, they're using a lot of time, taking their time in the huddle. They're in no hurry. Clock running, 5:20 and counting. Twins on each side. Frady stays in behind Henson. Still 20 seconds on the play clock, so they're just basically totally relaxed, and now they're ready to run the play. And it's going to be Frady. And this time he's caught behind the line of scrimmage by Nick Millsaps, who brings him down for no gain.
Yeah, and the quarterback saw right there what he wanted to see. When Millsaps closed right there, he thinks that he may be able to get out over the top and get into the end zone, but by adding that outside linebacker, he's going to have a harder time doing it. That looks like Allen's down.
Yeah, Thomas Allen shaking up, and he's not the guy we want shaking up.
No.
He played a good ball game last week and tonight as well. But certified athletic trainer Carrie Powell is on the spot, as she always is.
And it looks like another shoulder deal right here.
Got a timeout on the field. Fans, stay with us. We're going to take a break down the line with 4:47 to play. And we're going to take a 1-minute timeout and see. We hope Thomas is going to be okay. So stay with us. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Maroon Devils Network.
Hello, Maroon Devil fans. This is Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, asking you to come out and support our Maroon Devils during this upcoming sports year. I know what it's like to wear the maroon and white and the dedication to excellence it takes to reach your goals. Like so many of the teammates I had the honor of playing with, together we accomplished some great things. I have taken the same dedication and lessons I've learned from the playing fields with me to Farley Insurance to become the best insurance agent I can be, and then some. Whether it's home, auto, life, health, business, or commercial, Farley Insurance is dedicated to making sure we take care of you and your family. Come be a part of the largest independently owned insurance company in the Smoky Mountain Conference, located at 264 U.S. Highway 19, Bryson City, North Carolina. Numbers 828-366-2555. Again, 828-366-2555. I'm Michael Watson with Farley Insurance, your hometown insurance agent. And go Big Maroon.
Fans, welcome back here tonight. They're still working down there on the field on the injured Maroon Devil. We're talking about Thomas Allen, who had a fabulous game last week. Thomas had 14 tackles, was our leading tackler over at Tuscola when we came out and played a real solid second half. And both teams just basically ran at each other, played very physical. But we hope Thomas is going to be okay. And got the trainer and the doctor down there now talking to him, Coach White.
Yeah, they got trying to check him out and see. It looked like he was holding his shoulder. And those shoulder injuries, buddy, I'll tell you what, when you get a dislocated shoulder or a bad stinger like that, now I'm telling you what, that hurts. And separated shoulders are the weirdest thing in the world anyway. So I just hope that's not the case. But a lot of times they'll pop right back in, and then sometimes you got to go to the hospital and let them give you they relax those muscles so it will go back in. But it's pretty detrimental to the following follow-up weeks of trying to get back out there. You can't get back out there and play, not till it's healed up.
It's kind of a nagging thing that just hangs on, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it doesn't go away.
Doesn't go away.
It's something that'll stay with you the entire season. Not to preach doom and gloom, but I've seen it before.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a player, former Maroon Devil Zach Weeks had shoulder surgery himself after last season, but hey, he's back this year, ready to roll. Preseason All-American, preseason All-Conference, but hey, he had a shoulder injury he had to deal with, and he taped it up so hard, basically, his shoulder was almost intact, but he carried on and played and finished out the season.
Oh yeah, you can play with it like that, because the biggest fear they have is it doing it again, almost immediately. And once they get it started, the ligaments and all the muscle tissue around it to heal, and it starts tightening back up. And they have different devices they can put on them to wear and restrict the movement of that one arm.
Right.
But it's difficult to operate that way. But then generally, if it doesn't get any better and persist, then you do have to have it surgically fixed.
Yeah. And depending on the shoulder and how it's wrapped on your body, for example, if you're an offensive lineman, sometimes you have to change positions because that arm may not work on the right side or the left side of the line.
Exactly.
So,
and it's the same way defensively. It really limits your ability to tackle because you can't extend you have to be able to extend your arms up and out. And if you can't do that, buddy, you're real restricted.
Yeah. And he's going to be going off the field very, very slowly with the doctor and trainer staff down there with him. And we hope Thomas is going to be okay. He's walking off, but he's done for the night for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's a big setback for us right there and even in this position.
Yep. He has played a really good early season. Again, our leading tackler last week, 14 tackles. He's been in on a bunch of tackles here tonight. And I'm sure they're going to be working on him and in physical therapy and so forth the next several days.
Yeah, it'll be a couple of days before they can even evaluate it, I'd say, if it did separate. Now, that's worst-case scenario, but we don't know, and we'll find out and figure out what they can do for him.
Yep. Of course, Damian Lossy went out a couple of series ago with a potential shoulder. We don't know the extent of that, and we don't want to speculate, but he took his pads off, and then Connor Hyatt came back in on offense, but we hope both those young men are going to be okay. They're good kids.
They need this game, and this game needs them.
Henson throws, and they've got it set up over there. Got a screen out there on defense, and just ran it over here on the right side, and he jogs into the end zone.
Yeah, that was too easy.
Yeah,
right
good
there.
execution.
It's just playing pitch and catch right there.
And just had a blocker right in front of him who screened off the corner, and nobody out there to make the tackle. 3:50 to play now in the ball game, and they're going to try to tag this point up and make it a 50-6 ball game. This one stings. So again, Yanez has been perfect tonight, but we heard some whistles and
never got the ball snapped there.
Got a problem up front on the line of scrimmage, and got some fans hanging in there right to the bitter end. They're hanging in there, and give them credit. But it's been all Smoky Mountain here tonight.
Oh
fans.
yeah, there's no doubt, and
it's just,
they've got to feel good about what they've accomplished in 2 weeks. Like I said, with all new staff and doing things differently. I mean, it's surprising. My hat's off to them to get it that quick, you know, and to be able to come up with this kind of performance and this early in the season. It's got a whole lot to be said for them.
Solid execution here tonight. High snap, they get it down, and they actually kick it up, and it's going to be good. That's just
I have no idea how he got that through there.
Me neither.
I don't even believe the ball was on the ground when he kicked it out of the holder's hand. I don't think it was. I believe he just hit the ball. It was as the ball was coming down, it took off.
Oh, no question, Coach. That was just he got it done, and now the Mustangs are in control. And we'll keep it right here, and we're going to get it back here in just a second on the kickoff. Wow. I keep hoping that scoreboard's wrong, but it's not.
No, it's not going to go away. That's going to hurt.
56-6, Smoky Mountain, 2:07 to play and counting. We're going to get the ball one more time and see what we can do. Bryce Sain is back there to return. Another weapon, Juan Yanez, is going to come and kick off. And, Coach, we've talked about this, but he has not given us much return opportunity not to get good field position.
No, the only time he did is when he wanted to.
Right. He's kicked it deep every time, basically into the end zone, and that limits your opportunities. And that is definitely a weapon. Yanez will kick it off. Bryce Sain is going to be back at the 10. And this one is going to be kicked a little bit short. Bryce is going to take it at the 10. 15-20. Out to the 30-yard line. A lot of speed, and he's up in it at the 35. Wow, he went up in the air as well, but comes down at the 35, and we'll have it 1st and 10 for a couple of plays.
Yep.
But it's good to see that big full moon up there and have a nice, clear, cool, dry night. We haven't had a whole lot of those.
Yeah, dry is the key word there. I was beginning to think we were living in a tropical rainforest.
Boy. It's been a wet year. We've already had more rain this year than we normally have all year. So it's been one of those unusual seasons.
Yeah, I was really feeling real bad for my wife having to mow so much this year.
I tell you, here comes a big run around the right side on his first carry, a little stiff arm out there, and that's Colby Taylor. Pretty good run over here. Colby, a junior at 5'9", 195, but one of the best runs we've had all night. But
yeah, he did a great job of seeing his blocks, and there again, he didn't outrun his blockers. He set that whole thing up and got to the edge, and that's the kind of spark we need.
And we're going to have one more play, and this game is going to be over. Connor comes on, brings in the play, now looks back to the sideline, but is going to have to hurry. Clock running with 7 seconds and counting. He may or may not get the snap away. Down to 4, down to 2, down to 1. And there's the final play. Get the snap. Colby gets the carry, and he gets another good run down to the 35, but that's going to be all she wrote. And fans, this game is over, and it has been just a nightmare for the Maroon Devils, losing 56-6. The Mustang fans, of course, all are hanging in here, and they're loving this because a lot of these fans know how this rivalry is and how big this is for them to win by this margin.
Oh, yeah, and this is not something I think they even expected.
No,
I don't,
no.
This is
they didn't.
No, they didn't expect this, and their fans have a lot to be proud of what's going on over here. And, their tale's yet to be told when it comes down to their conference play and whatnot. But tonight was their night. They owned every part of this football game. I think they outran us. They outhit us.
Yep.
Offensively, defensively, in the kicking game. They owned us through the whole thing.
No question, Coach. Hats off to the Mustangs. They got it done, and that's going to wind it up here tonight from Smoky Mountain High School. Fans, join us next week. We'll be on the air at 6:30 right here on the Maroon Devils Network and WBHN. Until then, have a great weekend, and thanks for listening. So long from Silva.